इसमें आप बोलोगे कि मासी बोलेगी?
Tell me, what are some of the signs that you're ignoring your mental health?
बहुत सारे.
If you do the hardest thing the first in the morning, that makes you a beast
Exactly.
mentally.
Yeah.
Talk to me about urge.
जब बारिश होती है क्या खाने का मन करता है?
पकौड़े.
There you go. That's an urge.
जो हम बोलते हैं सारे कि what's your poison, तो वो क्या है? वो coping mechanism है.
Or something we like.
जब भी साइकोलॉजिस्ट बोलते हैं कि let's go back to your childhood,
I was just gonna
तो बच्चे
say
बोलते हैं
that.
कि आप फिर से वही बात लेके बैठ गए बचपन की. How does one overcome this constant feeling of not being enough throughout your life?
ये belief आया कहाँ से? Somebody's partner says, I'm feeling so anxious every time I have to talk to you. She's just expressing how she's feeling, but the guy is like, oh my God, I'm feeling so guilty. I'm causing so much stress to her. Let me go ahead and smoke so that I can release my stress.
Perfectionism ऐसा लगता है like आमिर खान के साथ associate कर सकता हूँ मैं.
हाँ.
He is known to be like precise about things and people. Dr. Divya, हमें दुनिया से mental health problems हटानी है.
हाँ.
How do we go about it? Welcome to another episode of the Find Your Ultra podcast. This one is with Dr. Divya Parashar, who's making her second appearance on the podcast. The earlier one was an audio. We'll link it in the show notes here or here, somewhere we'll put it, and you can click on it. You should definitely hear that episode because that received a lot of love from everybody who had heard it. So do check it out. Dr. Divya Parashar, for those who are listening to this one for the first time, is a qualified psychologist. She did her studies at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, USA, and then at Delhi University, I believe. Whatever it is, because she's a subject matter expert. You can check out her qualifications in the previous episode, and we can even mention in the show notes. She has decades of experience of helping people with their mental health. She was the head of psychology at the Indian Spinal Injury Center, Vasant Kunj. And she's now back there part-time, I guess. A couple of days she's there, and if you want to consult or somebody needs help with their mental health, they can definitely reach out for help. The second episode, we are going further into mental health. This one is not a deep dive into any specific subject, but a variety of topics that we've covered. We've talked about addiction, we've talked about urges. How do urges develop? Because everything is pretty much an urge. You're sitting and you feel like, I don't know, checking your phone or smoking or a tea or a drink or some behavior that's probably not right. So what about urges? How do they develop and what can we do about them? What is it about procrastination that makes our productivity suffer so much? We've also talked about vices. Why do we all need vices? We've talked about the importance of therapy in today's modern times and the objections to it, because there are a lot of people who do need therapy. Like we all can see it. This friend will benefit from therapy so much, but they are just so averse to it. They've got like tons of objections. We've tried to discuss those objections and we've tried to discuss what can we do to sort of overcome them. We've also tried to emphasize the importance of self-care in this modern world. It's a wide-ranging conversation, so do tune in because it's an important episode, it's a useful episode. And so without further ado, here's Dr. Divya Parashar and me in the Find Your Ultra podcast. Another beautiful conversation on the other side right away. Before we get into the episode, I have a quick favor to ask from you. Find Your Ultra podcast is not just a podcast for me. It's a learning journey. It's my outlet. It's my life project. I'm committed to doing this. We may have missed a few episodes due to technology failure or just life happens. But we are totally committed to this. We want to make this big. We're in this for the long term and we need your support. Like I've stopped asking for support and I've realized when I don't ask people to subscribe, people don't subscribe. Please, it's a free favor that I'm asking you to do. It does not cost you anything. It's a zero cost way of supporting the podcast. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and share the video with whoever you think will find this useful. Please do that. I commit to you. In return, we'll make the podcast bigger and the guests will be bigger and the quality of the conversations, the production, every single thing will be better. Please do this favor. It goes a long way, a long way in helping us build this show. And the show will get bigger only if you support. There's no other way. Please support. Will you? Thank you. Dr. Divya Parashar, welcome to the Find Your Ultra podcast again.
Thank you so much. I love being here. I love talking to you.
Awesome. Thank you. You're the first guest to do a round 2 on the podcast.
Really, I
Yes.
am honored and privileged. Thank you.
Yeah. So पिछली बार भी बहुत मजा आया था, इस बार भी बहुत मजा आने वाला है.
Hopefully.
I'm super looking forward to this. Of course, with you, we will talk about mental health mainly, and I have a wide range of topics I want to discuss with you. Let's begin with something that I believe is prevalent in the society so much that it probably doesn't get identified as much as it's prevalent. So I'm talking about addiction. So when we use the word addiction, it has certain connotations. It's either substance abuse, it's either too much drinking or smoking or some kind of addiction. But there are addictions of all kind. Like there's mobile addiction, there's addiction to distraction and various other things, right? So that addiction, we're all addicted to something or the other. There's food. How about that, right? So I want to understand from you, first of all, how does one define addiction really? And if it's possible to identify the root cause of addiction, and if yes, then what's the process?
All right. So when we look at addiction, we look at a very integrated approach now, Vipin, where we look at not just one factor, but there could be multiple. So the one big one is honestly how the brain responds to addictive substances and addictive behaviors. So where we have a reward system in the brain, when that gets activated, so we have a neurotransmitter. Basically, you must have heard a lot about dopamine. That gets activated. So when a substance, be it alcohol, be it any substance, be it any addictive behavior, like eating, gaming, even work, to be honest, those pleasure systems get activated. And when obviously that leads to a pleasure, so that feedback loop gets created, because when some behavior is bringing about a pleasurable outcome, you want to do it more.
So आपने कुछ किया, उसमें मजा आया,
और
then
वो
brain
चाहिए.
wants to do it
Correct.
again.
दूसरा चीज ये होता है that the brain gets habituated. So you and I are enjoying a nice cup of black coffee. So we may start with 1 cup of coffee a day, and then we are like, यार इसमें अभी मजा नहीं आया, या इसमें अभी वो kick नहीं आया. So when you start having more substances, the brain gets habituated and accustomed to it. Then you have to up the game. You start increasing the quantity of the substances. So that's one where the reward system of the brain gets activated, and obviously, dopamine ka khel hai pura. The other is
habituated आप बोल रहे हो. So body is the ultimate adaptation machine. I believe in being an endurance athlete. We know that even if you're somebody who can't do a 500-meter run today, if you train enough, you can probably do like 200 kilometers run, right? Because the body adapts. Is it the same with the mind? Mind adapts.
Correct.
And that's why
mind wants
that's
more.
why we want more and more of it.
हाँ. But बाकी factors भी आते हैं.
Yes.
So for instance, the cognitive factors, the brain, so very often when I talk with people who come with, and they're not brought very willingly by family or partners or friends, with, let's say, any weed addiction, smoking up. So, bhai, if I don't smoke up, I'm not creative, So then there are all these thoughts that we generate that मेरे को तो ये चाहिए, इसका फ़ायदा मुझे दिखता है कि मैं creative होता हूँ और इसके बिना या होती हूँ और इसके बिना I'm not able to function. So,
and these are made by us.
These are made by us. So, for instance, how we develop certain rituals that if I don't do a certain ritual, I'm going to feel anxious. So, these are again what beliefs we create. So, that's also where the thoughts and beliefs that we generate around substances and behaviors also comes in the way. So, that's the cognitive factors that play a role. So, when you're saying कि वो habituation हो जाता है, but then also our mind, because when we don't get that substance, we start feeling, or that addiction, the phone is taken away from us. Do you see how restless we feel? Because we are getting a certain outcome out of it. Our mind is distracted. We are doom scrolling. We are looking at random stuff on social media. We don't know what to do. So that anxiety, or that to avoid that anxiety, we want that substance back. Or we want that thing back, whatever that stimulus is. It could be scrolling, for example. And that's something which I see very, very prevalent these days. The third factor is, of course, stress. When we are feeling anxious, depressed, stressed, frazzled, anything, we feel like we need these substances to calm ourselves down. So we are looking at either a pleasurable state that comes out of it, or a reduction in our stress levels. Our mind calms down, we start feeling a little good. So substance use then becomes a coping mechanism. फिर वो भी एक feedback loop बन जाता है. So for instance, I've heard a lot of people that I just can't function without a smoke in the morning. You know, my body doesn't respond without that smoke. You know, but these are again beliefs we create, what it does to our body, and then without it we feel like nahi iske bina to ho nahi sakta. So that's the stress and coping mechanism that becomes it. If I look at workaholism, and that's, you know, we'll talk about obviously stress in a bit as well. You know, when people are addicted to work, and I've noticed this, that they're trying to avoid something which is causing them distress, be it personal, their own mind is kind of bothering them. You know, when they come home, if let's say there is a conflict at home. So again, to avoid any unpleasant situations, people tend to resort to being workaholics also. So for me also, in a way, I won't call it an addiction, but of course it is something, it is a behavior pattern we see, which is causing a lot of disruption in people's family lives for sure. So it's that stress element which comes in the play. It's certain personality types. I mean, people who have low self-control.
That's an important one.
People who like excitability. I mean, they may like having fun. So for them, fun is substance, fun is gaming, fun is all of that. It could be somebody who has low impulse control. So, you know, certain personality types lead or are also more prone to, you know, addictive behavior. Then, of course, comes, you know, any anxiety, depression. When we're looking at clinical disorders, again, to numb that pain, it feels it's always, for a lot of people, it feels better to numb their pain using substances than face the reality of what is causing them that distress. It's very tough to bring our demons to the forefront and navigate that. उससे अच्छा तो डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर लो, उससे अच्छा दारू पी लो, सब्सटेंस खा लो, सिगरेट पी लो, मुझे बात नहीं करनी. Don't get me to deal with my issues. And I hear this, how can you help me, doc? Because these are my problems. But it's not the problems which are causing the stress, it's our response to it and our inability to cope with it. So that's another one where we see a lot of substance use and addiction in conjunction with mental health disorders as well, personality disorders as well. Social learning, you know, where let's say, and where kids, if they've seen the availability and the normalizing of substances and alcohol at home, they will start seeing it as the norm. So, you know, whenever a parent comes and says, doc, I want my kid to execute this behavior, you know, suddenly he or she is using swear words. And I'm like, okay, well, are swear words used at home or in school? And they say, yeah, we use it casually. I'm like, well, you know, you are the role models. And very unconsciously, these kids pick up those behaviors. So in some places where, again, I've had as young as 14, 15-year-olds who are addicted to alcohol saying, oh, you know, it was the grandmother's 80th birthday and we said it's okay to have that wine. But that kid doesn't know how to self-regulate, doesn't know कि कितना सही है, कितना गलत है. So वो pattern बन जाता है कि भाई ये तो बहुत अच्छा है. So social learning has a huge role to play.
Amazing, yeah.
And then, of course, you look at other unfortunate instances like, you know, any
Trauma.
adverse childhood experiences, trauma, any unresolved traumas that are there. Because at a young age, trauma impacts the brain's reward systems as well as the coping mechanisms. Especially if those are unresolved traumas in adulthood, they may not develop, I mean, as they grow up, they don't develop the ability to cope. So it's just easy to go under the cloud of any substance or any behavior.
Wow. There's something I'm reminded of, which I heard yesterday only. So quite a few things, like quite a bit to mine in what you said. And I was not aware of all of these. Like I was probably aware in some random way, but you beautifully laid them out for us. Social one is a big one, where that behavior is normalized even for adults.
Sure.
What kind of company are you in? Are you, like, for example, let's say if I'm going to work with Nakul now, right? That company has a certain culture, a certain kind of people who wake up a certain time, do a certain kind of thing. and certain kind of things get valued there, right? So what is culture? It's monkey see, monkey do a lot of the time, and certain things, certain behaviors are encouraged and certain behaviors are discouraged. That's how you build it.
Sure.
So I don't see that one being the regular a lot of the running groups do, which is celebration is much longer than the run itself.
Correct.
Right? So drinking is so normalized there, and it's not so normalized here. You can have some and maybe celebrate, but that's just a token celebration sort of a thing.
Right.
And that's so social, that thing. But you also said, if the trauma, coming back to the next point, trauma or something that happened in your childhood and it didn't get resolved, I heard a psychologist talk about this. We have mental resilience when something massive happens, when you're in the middle of that trauma. Our brain has the capacity, we are born to survive. So brain would put a lot of things at the back and make sure all it does is whatever it needs to do to survive that moment. And the reserve that's kept once the event is over, and you see this time and again, once that event is over, this all comes to the surface, and then the recovery process, if not taken well, it can take much longer and it could be much more difficult. So you may have thought event hui aur nikal gaya aur kuch theek hai yaar, bada tha, humne survive kar liya. So are you aware of Iron Man Cowboy, the guy who did?
No.
If you're not, like you love it.
Okay.
So this guy called James Lawrence did 100 Ironmans in 100 days.
Oh my.
So he first did, a few years ago, he did 30 Ironmans in 30 days. Then he decided to do a bigger project. He said 50 Ironmans in 50 days in 50 states of the US, right? So उसमें वो daily वो flight पकड़ के पहुंच रहा था एक state से दूसरे state, right? So he did that. Then he said 50 में एक challenge ये था logistics का, because you're doing it in different cities. So he was like, can I take the logistics part out of it and can we double it? Like, can we do 100?
Oh my.
So he decided one place, इसी जगह पे करेंगे, and we'll do 100. And he did Insta lives every day. So I followed that entire journey, and massive. And what gives me goosebumps till date, कि 100 हो गया. Next day, you're not expecting anything. Next day, he shows up for 101.
Oh my God.
He says, and this is just to show that when you think it's all done, you can always do one more.
Yeah.
That was incredible. And then, so then, you want to say something?
No. No, I was going to say that's honestly the power of the mind.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Also.
And so then after that, he disappeared for a few days. So he said, my body at that time was just protecting me. And टांग वांग में कुछ fracture भी हुआ था. And he found somebody on the way who found what some new innovation. उसने कुछ ऐसा अटका दिया कि as he was running, his leg was healing. So ऐसे वो कर पाया, right? And on, like, we can just go on about this. Yeah. But this guy's wife, who was her crew, and he said, I think he was on day 20 and I'm messing up the date, like really early, like day 14 or something. He's got some 86 days or something to go. And he's in deep pain and he's lying there and he's telling his wife, I don't think I can take this pain anymore. And what she says is, you've done today. Sleep. We'll see when tomorrow comes. And that was so profound, I felt. And he said then they ended up doing 101. So coming back to the point with this detour was, his body was protecting him from that trauma. So it was storing it all. It wasn't resolved. It was storing it all.
Right.
Aur uske baad it all came back. Another example of my own life, Pooja was 5 months pregnant when her mother passed away during COVID. And Pooja could not cry and process her emotions that much because we were all like worried about the child. The child in any case was, उसके बच्चे के अपने अलग problems थे. Because Krida's childbirth was a major problem. But when she was born, it turned out to be beautiful. Like, जो सोचा था वो वैसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. But doctors ने हमारी लगा दी थी सुना कि nervous system develop नहीं होगा, तो बच्चे can sometimes forget to breathe, so you have to keep them on a CPAP. So I was ready for her to be like on a machine for machines and wires and whatnot for months in like ICU, and then jo bhi hoga dekha jayega. I was ready for that. When she came out, she was like properly rolling her eyes around And I was like, is this really like, this is us for sure?
Yeah.
तो ऐसा कुछ है. So anyway, so Pooja could not cry when her mother passed. It was such a big, of course she cried, but not as much as she would, and she tried to not think too much about it also. 1 year passed because first year of motherhood is very tough. वो बच्चा थोड़ा सा, क्योंकि बच्चा it's only about mother. बच्चे को कोई और नहीं चाहिए पहले साल में. जब वो हो गया थोड़ा सा इधर उधर खेलने लग गया. Look at her second year. She was waking up every night with traumas. She was waking up every other day. She was like, I can see my mom here and this and that. All the memories were coming.
Back.
So it was also the body's resilience to store the trauma somewhere. And we think we've dealt with it. It'll come back.
Yeah,
and
course.
That needs to be processed as well. So among the things that cause addiction, trauma could be one of these. And if it's not well managed, and not taken help with, then it can spiral into anything.
I mean, the way it can impact life can be trauma, especially, and now we'll specifically talk about trauma, whether it was 25 years ago, 10 years ago, or 3 months ago. I mean, if it's what impact it had on us and whether or not it was resolved, it will somehow just... you'll be watching over your shoulder. It'll keep making its presence felt.
And Dr. Aruna Bruta, I did an episode with super senior psychologist. She must be 85 now.
Oh man, wow.
And she said, psychology में ऐसा नहीं होता है कि 2+2 होगा या 2+4 होगा.
Exactly.
वो 2+20,000 भी हो सकता है. और वो 20,000 वो अवचेतन मन में चला गया है तुम्हारे. और वो कब बाहर आएगा आपको पता नहीं है.
Correct.
फिर जब भी साइकोलॉजिस्ट बोलते हैं कि लेट्स गो बैक टू योर चाइल्डहुड, तो बच्चे बोलते हैं आप फिर से वही बात लेके बैठ गए बचपन की. तो वो कहती है कि भैया पट्टी करने से पहले धीरे धीरे करके पस तो निकालूंगी ना.
बिल्कुल, exactly. That's exactly. It's funny how we all use the same metaphors, but I know there are some adults when we do therapy, and I'll always ask about how childhood was, any significant life events. It's like, how does this have any connection? So I generally now, I will orient people that these are the range of conversations we'll go through, just so that you're able to understand why I'm coming with that. I mean, why I want to probe a little bit. We are definitely not blaming, we're not saying, oh, iski wajah se hai, but we're saying, okay, this happened, this had an impact on you this way, this is how you developed a coping system or a belief system, which is what is making you navigate the world. I want to see what impact that had, raise your awareness so that we can work with this in the here and now and have you be adaptive. So in that sense, when they say like, acha, ye nahi ki mummy papa ko blame ho raha hai, aisa nahi hai. It's nothing like that. Or, anything else. But, I mean, if I look at any adult who comes by with history of anxiety, depression, stress, PTSD, I will always ask, I said, any abuse, any sexual abuse, any domestic violence, and you will, and of course, they'll talk about it. They may not come with the primary reason, but when it gets unearthed, and then they're like, you know what, yeah, that abuse led to this in my relationship. I'm having difficulty trusting. I'm having difficulty with intimacy. So you realize, किस वे में कहाँ जाके क्या मिलता है. It's like, I always call it like making a puzzle. It's like you're fitting pieces together to have that beautiful whole in the end, like the gestalt that comes around.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing. And the reason I feel this conversation is so important is that we need to realize that certain behaviors that we, like for example, if I'm trying to get my wife to eat healthy and she's not able to, I might be like, मैं गुस्सा कर लूंगा, बात कर लूंगा, हर तरीके से resolve. If it's not changing, through a longer, deeper conversation, I uncovered one day the reason she's having, let's say, a Maggie or something at night and not chapati is that she says, जो माँ चपाती बनाती थी ना, वो मुझे टेस्ट नहीं आता है. वो कुछ भी कोई भी बना ले, वो नहीं आता है और मेरा मन नहीं करता है खाने का. And when I eat that, I just miss her more.
It's a reminder for her. So to avoid that reminder, let's eat.
It's a coping mechanism. It's a bad one, but it's a coping mechanism. ये सब कुछ ही coping mechanism है.
I mean, but अगर हम psychologically देखें, and I'll just, kind of elaborate that even if it's a behavioral drive, like an urge, for instance, will lead us to a behavior, any form of rational thinking or any attempt at self-control will override it. अगर वो एक coping mechanism है, या अगर वो stress eating का एक response है कि यार मैगी से comfort मिलता है, junk food, we all crave that junk food, because again, it's that faulty reward system. It's looking for that unhealthy food. That same dopamine can be released with running, with yoga, with creativity, with meditation, tai chi, pilates. But वो तो यार बहुत मेहनत है ना. ये easy है, इसमें मजा भी आ रहा है, इसमें मेहनत है. But वही dopamine.
But you're saying rational thinking will override it.
Sometimes it's not easy. It's not. That's what I'm saying. So it's very easy to, let's say you know what? अच्छा, addiction को हटाने के लिए हम ये coping behaviors लेके आते हैं, you know. And let's say you know that okay, Divya ने, and this is a quick fix where Divya has said कि भाई ये healthy behavior substitute करना है, या timer लगाना है कि let that urge pass for 25 minutes, so let me do this urge surfing. You'll be like, chuck it, yeah, मैं तो ये ले रहा हूँ. What happens then is what is explored.
So it's actually, I see hope in this actually. कि अगर आप realize कर लेते हो कि ये override करना possible है इस urge को, तो फिर मुझसे नहीं हो रही है, तो let me seek help.
Exactly.
Let me एक friend को accountable बनाता हूँ. नहीं होता है तो last resort मैं भैया help लेता हूँ, let's say a therapist, somebody. So these are some of the ways in which you can try to do that.
Yeah. And there are so many, and that's what I'm saying. So a psychologist will work with you. So like I said, it's easy to give a plan and say, बस ये implement करो. अगर इतना आसान होता, कोई दूसरी बार therapist के पास नहीं आता.
Correct.
It's a lot of, like I use this acronym called From Fear to Dare, where fear, the acronym is how we fuse with thoughts. Thought आया, नहीं यार, एक बार खा लेते हैं, या अगर मैं ये, I'll promise I'll be good from tomorrow, or how will one chocolate matter? So we are letting our thoughts come by and we get convinced by them, which basically says, okay, reach out for that. Then it's, you know, are we excessively goaling? कि भाई मैं suddenly cold turkey सब कुछ छोड़ दूंगा या छोड़ दूंगी. Some people are good at it, man. When they resolve, when they said, and we'll talk about that, if they set that resolve, they will by hook or by crook follow it. But if they excessively goal and they don't have the resources, not the willpower, not the time, not a buddy, not access to healthy substances or an access to healthier coping, they will give in. The other is avoidance. You know, कौन मेहनत करे, ये आसान लग रहा है ना. But for me, I'll feel so much better if I have that chocolate versus these 2 dates that my nutritionist has recommended. Dates कौन खा के खुश होता है, मेरे को तो वो चाहिए ना. I want that chocolate, I want that sugar kick. So we are avoiding anything which is work-related, or we are avoiding an emotion. And then the biggest one, Vipin, which, and I know I heard it in one of your podcasts with Vishwas, the word authenticity. If you strongly have a North Star, ki this is the kind of person I want to be, this is important to me, my values of health, for instance, for me, my values of health, empathy, compassion, integrity, these will be my North Stars. This will be my North Star. Kuch bhi aa jaye, डामाडोल हो जाए, my North Star will be constant, my behavior will follow that. But if it's aspirational, it's going to be so nice to be all of that, but मेहनत नहीं करनी, वहाँ पे we are removing ourselves from our value system. If our value system, our internal compass, if it's well established and in place, none of these other factors will come and derail us. So it's good. So when I'll sit with people, what are your values? हमें ये भी करना, ये भी करना, ये भी करना, ये भी, अच्छा ठीक है, करना है. I respect that. Very good. क्या मेहनत करोगे इसके लिए? And why is this important to you? What about this is important to you? I want to know if you truly are holding on to your values. Yeah. Because that's where your behavior follows intentions. Your behavior follows your strong beliefs. So, you know, so that's why it takes work and it takes a lot of conviction. Motivation, willpower, ये सब हिल जाती हैं. आपका value और आपका commitment, conviction strong है, सब कुछ bypass हो सकता है.
It's ironical. We're talking on a mental health podcast. We're talking about Vishwas. Vishwas does not believe in mental health. He said depression kuch nahi hota. So in the podcast, we had a debate about 20 minutes. And I decided to chuck it because the whole conversation was about something else. Isko chodo yaar, isko kaat hai.
But I know you mentioned authenticity. You mentioned you are following your dreams. You're following what you truly believe in.
Yes, true.
When so I was quoting your words in that, I'm like, he's hit the nail on the head. Authenticity. Am I doing what I believe I want to do, what is important to me.
Mm.
So I want to lose weight, I want to run a half marathon, I want to do this, I want to do that. But मेहनत नहीं करनी है because all of this sounds very good. और आजकल social media की वजह से a lot of people are running half marathons very untrained.
Yeah.
Where for what?
Yeah. What you just said about 2 dates instead of a chocolate, why would I eat that? Because joy clearly usme zyada hai. There's no doubt about that. Why would somebody do that? This reminds me of, like, can we indulge?
Sure. Absolutely.
James Clear's Atomic Habits.
हाँ.
The difference between in his book and Charles Duhigg's other book, The Power of Habit. Charles Duhigg, by the way, wonderful guy. I love him. Fundamental difference in the process, I think James Clear has put the identity step in between. So somebody who's quit smoking, like both, there are two people trying to quit smoking. One has just smoked his last cigarette and he's decided he's not going to smoke. He talks to somebody and somebody offers him a cigarette and he says, I don't smoke. The other one has just quit and somebody offers and he says, I'm trying to quit. So the one who's saying, I don't smoke, even though he smoked like 10 minutes before, he's already assumed the identity of that person. And he says, this is the beginning point. So when you assume the identity, so I'm turning 40, the reason I can relate to this, I turned 40 a couple of days ago. And this is one thing I've realized. So I've been doing all kinds of wrong things. I've been smoking, drinking, not working, not being active, doing all of that. But the content I consume and not sleeping properly, okay? Because I have a break in my career. So, you know, the content I've been consuming is always about longevity, about health. It's so ironical, so shitty कि भैया सुन क्या रहा है तू और कर क्या रहा है बे एक बार ये देख. There's a clear disconnect. There's a daylight between the two. But it's registering somewhere because that's where my interest lies. और आज नहीं तो कल मैं उसी रास्ते पे जाने वाला हूँ, ये मुझे पता है. So as I turn 40, I believe I want to take care of myself. However, whatever I've been thinking of myself all these years, I want to take care of myself. So, you know, whatever thing that the joy that it's going to give me, how is it going to make me feel tomorrow? मैं ये parameter लेके अब चल रहा हूँ. So I will assume the identity of someone who takes care of himself. So everything that I do, I quickly ask this question. Even if it's a little harder, भैया कल ये बेकार होगा तो मैं आज I'm going to do this only. Then I'm going to choose the healthier option.
So just to ride along with you on that, there is something that I call but there's a psychological technique called the choice point. So at every moment in life, we are faced with a choice, right?
Yeah, these burgers are never, it's not like I can press a button and now I'm sorted for life. So, it's a constant struggle.
So it's like a V, right? So it's like there's a choice. You're faced with a situation. What move are you going to make? Are you going to make a towards move, which is towards the identity you've assumed, or is it an away move? So if I'm, an away move is, I don't want to eat healthy, I don't want to go for a run today because it's hot and humid, but I also know how much I love running, and so I'll always choose a towards move. Mostly. I mean, there'll be times I'm not perfect, I'll choose an away move. So whenever you're choosing, so it's like a conscious thing that you're doing. What decision am I making? Is it for my own good or not? So when you've assumed that strong identity and you're acting according to what you want to be, that's when these towards moves become easier to do. When you're able to fight or unhook from any other thought that comes by to derail you, or anybody who says, nahi yaar Bipin, aaj tu hamare saath kaise nahi beer pee raha. Let's say you have a run tomorrow. You're like, no, I can't. I have a run tomorrow. You stick to that rather than क्या सोचेंगे लोग, पी लेता हूँ एक, so you will show your conviction, and that's what in the end shines the most. So
James Clear also has this beautiful analogy actually in this. He says that to win the election, you have to win the election of the person that you want to become, person that you don't want to become, right? Every action that you take casts a vote in favor of that person that you want to become. And you don't need to win 100% of the votes. You just need to win more votes of this guy than this guy. I said, सही है यार, then everything counts then. Otherwise you feel होता है ना कि आज कर लूँगा तो क्या ही हो जाएगा. And this significantly helps in my streaking. I've started 5 kilometer streak again. Last streak was 531 days of non-stop running. So I feel like that psychological,
Yeah.
tenacity.
So I keep saying, right, what you focus on expands. So
Yeah.
if that's what you're focusing on, that's what you'll stay with. So I have all of these nuggets that I will follow, like 2 words away. What you focus on expands. So, stuff like that. And like I said, our behaviors follow our intentions. So if you've set a strong one, and you're committed, you'll fight whatever comes in the way.
Well, lovely conversation, and thank you for indulging me.
Always.
Let's hear from you. Let's hear from the expert. So then, what are some of the ways in which these addictive behaviors, and could be anything, not just substances,
Sure.
the phone and everything.
Yeah.
In what ways do we identify them? In what ways do we get rid of them?
It's the one question I'll always ask people when they come in, that are you ready for it? So there is this readiness of change. Are they in the pre-contemplation stage, contemplation stage, action stage? So you can tell whether they will follow through what you're going to suggest. Because
what's a contemplation stage?
मैं सोच रहा हूँ मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि मेरे को पक्का छोड़ना है, बट मेरे को रास्ता नहीं पता. I don't know how to do it. So I'm here to ask you, how can I do this? Pre-contemplation is, I'm thinking, I'll also see the benefits of this. I'm not really into it. But, my mom was telling me to go do this, but I'm not sure if I want to engage in this process of de-addiction. Contemplation is your one step ahead. Action is, you've told me what to do. Let's get down to doing it, so all of that. So I like assessing, I like seeing what their motivations are, how strongly are they here because they've been asked to see me, or it's self-referred. Because when it's self, you know that they're invested somewhere, कि मेरे को ये छोड़ना है, whatever be that addiction or that pattern of behavior. I strongly encourage having a good, I know I'm talking psychology right now, or coaching, a strong therapeutic alliance, saying I want this person to trust me, to share with me their inner secrets, to share with me their vulnerabilities. Because if this is a coping mechanism, or if they're not trusting me, or if they feel, I don't know if she can help me, process won't work. So one, can we forge a good working alliance where it's an honest conversation? I can empathize and say, yeah, I know you've tried so much, and नहीं हो पा रहा, मैं आपकी struggle समझ रही हूँ, but let's see if we can try again. Where's your motivation at? Or what can I help you? What are your goals? What would you like to do? So where you're stepping into that person's shoes and you're developing that relationship where they can trust you, especially if it's if the substance or the behavior is a coping mechanism. They could be running away from any kind of stressor, relationship, work, personal, unresolved traumas. If they don't trust who they're speaking to, you won't get to the root cause. Which comes to the second bit, which is identifying the root cause. Let's talk about significant events that happened in your life. Tell me what your family dynamics were like. How were you disciplined? What kind of coping mechanisms did you learn when you were little? Like if any stress happened, and I know people don't know what stress is when they're little, but you didn't do well in school and mom got upset with your grades, what would happen to you? Would you shut down and retreat? Would you go into the kitchen and get some food to eat? Would you nowadays not eat? Yes, I know somebody who hasn't eaten for 3 days because she's stressed out. So what significant life events have happened? What were family relationships like? How the role of not just parents but peers, teachers, other socializing agents, grandparents. So what belief systems did you learn when you were little? Were you going through any significant stress at that time? Bullying, for instance, was there access to substances? These days, I ask this more because there is more access to substances and behaviors, phones, social media, all of that. So, of course, we look at what are some of the unmet needs. Are there any really negative core beliefs? I'm not good enough. People will judge me. I have a fear of making mistakes. So you see where I'm going. So if these very strong set of beliefs start when you're little, you don't know how to cope with them. So you will access any maladaptive coping mechanism, substance behaviors. The biggest one I see these days is doom scrolling. People refuse to sit with their own thoughts because they're so bothered by them. Kuch to karna hai. Distraction is good, right? Doc, distraction is good, right? I'm like, no, distraction in a way. And I tell them the difference between meaningful engagement with any activity with a purpose rather than distraction. Distraction is, oh my God, I'm getting that negative thought. Let me run away from it. Let me open my phone. Let me do some reels. And before you know it, an hour is gone. But when you sit with it, you're like, I don't know what to do with this anxiety that's coming as a result. So we look at what are some of the behavior patterns as well. What's causing them stress? So looking at thoughts, feelings, and behavior. I'm not good enough. I go to social media, my friends look so happy. Look at my body image. You start feeling low. And then your behavior patterns could be that of stress eating, could be alcohol, could be vaping, could be anything. I mean, could be doom scrolling, could be watching OTT. I've known people who can sit for hours on end and watch OTT to numb their mind. Could be running away from work. It could be anything. So how are they coping? What's their behavioral patterns like? So these are all things that we explore. These take a while in sessions. Then we look at triggers. What situation is triggering you? And a trigger is an internal thing. So a situation may be benign. Let's say, somebody's partner says, I'm feeling so anxious every time I have to talk to you. She's just expressing her angst, right? She's just expressing how she's feeling. But the guy is like, oh my God, I'm feeling so guilty. I'm causing so much stress to her. I can't deal with it. It's all my fault. Let me go ahead and smoke so that I can release my stress. So what's the trigger? She's not blaming you. She's expressing, but there's a trigger within you which is causing that to happen. So we look at triggers. We look at, in that sense, we look at how are they coping? Is this a maladaptive coping that they look at? So this is, and then of course you work with having them realize that, okay, if this is a functional coping tool, let's say running away from problems, running away from distress, isolating ourselves and engaging in certain behaviors or substances, you were little or you were not, your psychological coping isn't as developed as we can teach you now. So can we teach you better coping skills? Can we get to the root cause of what's causing you stress, if it's a stress coping, and have you cope better using healthier responses? So people can't fathom how I wake up at 4:30 every morning, go for a run, get ready, leave for work by 7, and I reach home back at 6:37 earlier. So they're like, how do you have so much energy? I said, for me, running is my stress coping. It's my dopamine fix. It's not, I'm not addictive to it, but it's like, I know what it does to me and it feels so good.
It actually charges you.
It charges me. I'm able to think. There are times when I'm coming up with ideas. I'm like, oh, wow, this is an idea I can do today at work, or this is a concept that I can write. I mean, it fuels productivity, it fuels focus, concentration, the same thing which a substance may do.
Yeah.
And it calms me down.
Precisely.
There are alternatives to a good dopamine fix. So teaching them healthy, I'm not saying everybody needs to run, but can you start walking? What according to your temperament would help you cope better? So let's look at adaptive behaviors, adaptive coping styles. So using therapy, and if it's unresolved traumas, addressing them, and again, helping them cope with it better. So looking at triggers, causes, and you can reframe negative thoughts as well. How does I'm not good enough? One, it manifests, and I know it manifests. I have a fear of mistakes. I have to be perfect. These are all beliefs which, imagine, put so much pressure on us, which is constant, right? These don't go because we truly feel these are very fixed belief systems. But let's look at, is this working for you? And if it's not, can we treat ourselves with a little bit of self-compassion and say, hey, we can develop kinder, more compassionate ways of thinking, which will actually work for us.
Okay.
So when they're able to redefine that loop and their behavior changes, again, it helps them recover and it helps them create a new feedback loop in that way. So that whole neuroplasticity that we spoke about in our first episode, the brain is capable of that.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
It does, indeed. Thank you. So one thing I've understood is we all need different coping mechanisms because the bodies and our minds perceive different kinds of threats. And there is a very strong desire to distract ourselves. And I've experienced this myself so many times. There are times in life which are stressful, and all I know that I need is some examination of what's going on. And it does not have to be with somebody. It could just be putting pen on paper, right? But I need to figure out what's up.
Sure.
What's is not defined, but if I just examine, पता लग जाएगा कि these are the 2-3 things bothering you. There are 2-3 solutions that are possible, and maybe there's no solution, and maybe something out of your control, and then accepting that, and then feeling slightly better. But just that evaluation, उसको avoid करने की बजाय मैं सब कुछ कर लूँगा और I will watch movie after movie, I will binge eat, I will do whatever, but I will not sit down for 2 minutes and examine that. And it's related to our reel that I sent you yesterday about कि A priority जो मेरी है वो मुझे कभी नहीं करनी। अगर वो what is that guy say, मुझे अगर आपने बोल दिया 5 ग्लास पानी पीना है अपनी हेल्थ के लिए, मैं पूरे देश को बता दूंगा कि क्या चल रहा है, लेफ्ट का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, राइट का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, पढ़ाइयाँ कर लूँगा, एग्जाम्स पास कर लूँगा, पर मैं पानी नहीं पीऊँगा वो वाला। सो देयर इज समथिंग इन अस दैट स्टॉप्स अस फ्रॉम डूइंग द राइट थिंग। व्हाट्स about that?
Procrastination, again, it's a symptom of, I mean, it could be a symptom of multiple things, okay? So, and I'll talk about that. So when somebody is very depressed, and I'll talk about different scenarios, they are plagued by this thought of, what's the point? Iska kya fayda? Chodo. I don't want to do it. So that negative thinking spirals into procrastination because that's a symptom of their depression, which is leading them to procrastination. Inertia.
Also something that does not that you don't know कि करना कैसे है।
So अब correct
सीखना पड़ेगा।
Correct. So वो मैं आपको जो moderate to severe depression में होते हैं, मैं उनकी बात कर रही हूँ कि उसमें हम procrastination देखते हैं. But in most cases that I will see in practice, there are multiple factors. One of course
most
is
cases का बताइए।
Most cases, हाँ.
क्योंकि medium और severe वाले, I'm pretty sure वो help ले रहे हैं।
हाँ. Most, हाँ, नहीं ले रहे होंगे। Most cases में सबसे पहला आता है perfectionism. So, and उसके अंदर either there is a fear of failure that, yeah, I don't know if I have this in me. Can I do this? Will I be able to do this well? So rather than tackling it, it's better to just not do it क्योंकि वो फिर face नहीं करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? Fear of judgment. I may do this, but will my boss like it? Will my colleague like it? Will my perceived inadequacies be exposed जिसकी वजह से मुझे करना ही नहीं है? So in most cases, it'll be perfectionism where it's like fear of making mistakes, failure, being judged. The other one is lack of, I mean, I use this term self.
Is there a better word for, sorry.
नहीं बोलो.
Is there a better word for perfectionism? Because I can never relate to it. Also, I might be suffering from it. Because perfectionism ऐसा लगता है, like आमिर खान के साथ associate कर सकता हूँ मैं. अब तो खैर बेकार फिल्म में आ रहा है, पर he's known to be like, you know, precise about things and people, and I know people, designers. Itu Chaudhary, my ex-boss, amazing designer. And whenever he designs, he's like never satisfied and wants to improve and improve and improve. मुझे उनका 10% बनना है, मतलब 10 परफेक्शन तो छोड़ दो, आई वांट टू बी गुड इनफ, और वो गुड इनफ में भी मैं उतना ही पैरालाइज्ड फील करता हूँ. सो परफेक्शनिज्म इज द राइट वर्ड देयर आल्सो.
I mean, again, it's hard to define it. It's hard to, if I ask you, Vipin, are you a perfectionist? You won't know how to define it. We relate better with fears. We relate better with anxieties. We relate better with, I feel a lack of self-confidence, or I feel a lack of ability to do this. It seems more tangible. So if I'll ask, is there any fear that is stopping you from tackling this task? People are relating better to that. I won't generally ask perfectionist हो क्या, क्योंकि एक तो पहली चीज़ हमें पता है कि perfectionism gets a bad rap, तो मैं क्यों बोलूँ हाँ मैं हूँ. Fears actually people relate to better. So I would say, what is holding you back? Right. What fear is holding you back? So it's usually failure, mistakes, judgment. वो होगा. Does that make sense?
Does, yeah.
So yeah, we'll take perfectionism out of the vocabulary. The other one is, I feel, and that could be our very negative inner talk. I don't have it in me. I don't think I can do this. I'm not good at this. I don't know how to do this. So if I don't know where to start. So जब negative inner talk होती है, inner narratives जो हमने last time बात करी थी, वो एक lack of confidence लेके आती है. So what happens is, and then again, we keep talking about feedback loops, right? इनर नैरेटिव बोला नहीं होगा मुझसे, हम एक्चुअली नहीं करते हैं. नहीं करते हैं, बॉस डांट लगाता है, हम कहते हैं देखा, आई एम सो यूजलेस, आई एम गुड फॉर नथिंग, आई एम नॉट गुड इनफ. So we keep doing that. And I keep telling people, the minute you break that loop, you tackle that task, you see what feedback you get, you'll get that confidence. Confidence ऐसे ही नहीं आती. लोग affirmations करते हैं, I am confident, I am calm. I've had people tell me, Doc, as long as you're not teaching me affirmations, I'm okay. It has its place though. I know it works very well for some people. For others, it doesn't. So I will work with that. I will not diss affirmations.
Have you
but
worked
yeah.
with somebody who knows NLP and stuff? Do you believe in that?
I know somebody, but I honestly won't have much to say on that. But I think they're good at kind of convincing. That convincing part is good. So some people like seeing it in action. So they would rather be like, okay, I can do this. I'm going to take this task, break it into chunks and do it. So that's another one where the lack of confidence makes them not take it. Then we have a task aversiveness. अच्छा नहीं है, boring है, इससे क्या हो जाएगा? I find it uninteresting. So, we don't, so we are basically not invested in that. So when we're not invested, we won't want to work on it. So that's another one. Then again,
Would you say self-harm? Or
cutting behavior is what typically is self-harm.
okay, no, I thought maybe
Or harming, like cigarette butts, whatever.
Being addicted to certain feelings, self-sabotage, it's actually a big one. Maybe that's a separate topic altogether. But इसी में procrastination में ही कि maybe some inner narrative probably.
Inner narrative बहुत strong है procrastination में.
self harm में मतलब you can't be seen doing good, like if the image that you have that. Okay, जैसे unrelated example, जैसे हरियाणवी में क्या होता है, हरियाणा में आमतौर पे लोग आपकी तारीफ नहीं करते हैं मुंह पे. Or my father's like that, right? So he will never appreciate even if you cook good food. For example, many years ago, I cooked pasta for the first time. बनाया और he loved it, like second serving, third serving, और लोग आए हुए थे, बात का सारे तारीफ कर रहे थे. He cannot be seeing appreciating me, right? And so what he has to do is quote it into something of a criticism. He says, आज की चीजें, आजकल की चीजें खाने में स्वाद पर पेट के लिए बड़ी खराब होती हैं.
So that's a nice.
It's a compliment. I know it's a compliment.
Yeah.
Nobody else knows it's a compliment. So I'll wrap it like that. So similarly, if I'm doing something, I don't know, like I feel I can't be saying being nice, and I feel I suffer from this. I struggle to accept that I'm being nice to myself.
That is what we call, that's a cognitive distortion, which is again something which is a thought we've somehow developed, so which is like discounting positives, like or it's like all or none. So discounting positives is, I won't accept this. This leads more to I'm not good enough. Discounting positives. Okay. You'll focus, you or somebody else who has this will focus more on what did I not do right, rather than giving yourself a pat on the back saying, yaar, pasta maine bada acha banaya. That's where a good sense of self-concept and self-worth comes by. But when you're not looking at yourself in a balanced approach, thoda sa wo self hilta hai. So procrastination more is, I fear, like I don't want to make a mistake.
Okay.
Ulta bhi hai. I don't want to succeed because mere se agar expectations high ho gayi and I'm not able to meet it, tab kya hoga? So wo bhi ek aa sakta hai. But that's rare that we'll see. But task aversiveness, I don't like it. I'm not motivated.
Okay.
Or this is not really something that I am, that is to my core value. I don't want to do this. Mere ko maza nahi aa raha. So a lot of people I know who are in jobs they don't want to be, and they one of the symptoms is I just can't seem to get myself to work because they're not finding any meaning and purpose or value or joy in it. So it's in the end, it's like, छोड़ो इसको delay करते हैं, but they know that करना तो है कभी. So then sometimes we'll use it as a coping. If I'm feeling stressed, anxious, sad, I just don't feel like working today. इसको push कर देते हैं, इसको कल कर लेंगे या इसको छोड़ दो. So that also is something becomes like a coping. I just don't have that. I have that inertia. I just don't want to do it. And then oftentimes I've noticed people who'll have that instant gratification that I'm feeling anxious about doing this task. मेरे को करना नहीं है, but let me choose watching OTT
That's
over.
actually big one.
Yeah.
Instant
gratification कि मेरे को यार ये काम करना नहीं है, but let me just watch half an hour of OTT. वो half an hour कब 4 घंटे हो गया पता नहीं चला. They would choose that over the long-term goal of completing a task and being good at their work. So,
I
yeah.
think this the book Eat That Frog, that mindset. Have you read it? So basically, just says how
have to make
shitty
a
is
list
eating.
of all the books you read. They all sound fascinating. Huh?
How shitty is eating a frog, right? So Eat That Frog just talks about the mentality of doing the hardest thing, because आपकी सक्सेस वहां रुकी हुई है उस चीज में जो आप अवॉइड कर रहे हो.
Correct.
ठीक है. और if you do the hardest thing the first in the morning, that makes you a beast mentally.
Yep.
So Eat That Frog mentality. And so there's a recent discovery they're saying about the brain. So Andrew Huberman talks about this, and he mentions in a podcast with David Goggins. David Goggins, you know him, right? He's a beast.
Yeah.
So, and he says there's a part of the brain, it's called
amygdala.
No.
Anterior
mid-singular cortex. उस पार्ट की ये बात कर रहे हैं कि जब भी आप टफ डिसीजन लेते हो, every single time you're faced with a choice and you choose a harder choice, something that part grows. ठीक है? And so let's say for example, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning is not easy for you. You do it tomorrow, that part grows. But if you do it for 7 days, it's easier.
Yeah.
It doesn't grow. Then you take a harder challenge of some other kind. So वो हर बार challenge होगा, that part grows. So for somebody like David Goggins, who's always tougher challenge is his style. The anterior mid-singular cortex, his grows.
Yeah,
right? And you know that's why you develop that mental toughness.
Correct. So that's why I keep saying, right? It's all from here. दिमाग से सब कुछ आता है. उसको let's strengthen the parts which are going to make us better and make us reach our potentials. So yeah.
Shall we talk about urge?
Sure.
Urge एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है नहीं? क्योंकि आप बैठे हो और कुछ डेवलप हो रहा है आपके अंदर से. कुछ एक विचार आ रहा है, ये करना है या ये खाना है या ये इसको फोन करना है या इसको. There's an urge to do something.
Correct.
And a lot of the times it serves us, and a lot of the times it does not. Understanding urge and to be able to ride them, right, the negative ones at least, कि उस phase को निकाल दिया जाए. For example, quitting anything, any wrong behavior, smoking for example, is that. Talk to me about urge.
So urges are sudden, like you're saying, बैठे हैं, thought आ गया, sudden in a way drives or impulses, you know, which make us seek a certain behavior. So that's what typically an urge is. एकदम से आएगा और वो एकदम एक urgency से आता है. It's not like आया और बस it seems very, very compelling. So an urge to smoke, an urge to talk to someone, an urge to eat something. So it's like, you know, if I respond to an environmental cue of an urge, what do you think of जब बारिश होती है, क्या खाने का मन करता है?
पकौड़े.
There you go. That's an urge. Environmental. When you walk into a movie theater, what do you feel like eating?
Popcorn.
Because a sensory gets activated. Popcorn की खुशबू बड़े चालू हैं ये लोग, है ना? And that's like popcorn तो movies के साथ खाना ही है. So that's an urge, you know. So where samosa, chai, pakode, monsoons. Or when you're, you know, sitting with friends, you know, let's have a drink, you know, that's, you know, so that's an urge. So that's what urges are, you know, but a lot of times, again, mind, body, there's going to be a physiological activation. I don't know, again, I've never smoked, but people talk about a sensation they get in their chest, which drives them to smoke, that there's that uncomfortable feeling that comes by, or a withdrawal that when you're taken off nicotine, that withdrawal symptoms come by and that drives the urge. Or it's like contextual, like I talked to you about conditioning, कि, you know, environmental hai, sensory hai, internal hai. I feel like having sweets when I'm stressed. So the next time a stressor comes by, I'll be like, open up that chocolate and eat it. So, you know, these are all these urges that typically come by. They're all very compelling. Like I said, आप कोशिश भी कर लो control करने की, but they can be very compelling. The only thing that you need to learn is that they're temporary, you know, and that I need you
Wow,
to
that's revelation.
yeah, that they're temporary.
Like, I mean,
हाँ,
we all know it, but
yeah,
honestly to
हाँ,
hear it
correct.
feels like a revelation
हाँ,
कि temporary है,
टेम्पररी
चली
है,
जाएगी.
करेक्ट.
Yeah.
सो मेरे लिए वो एक टास्क है कि अगर मेरे को आपने चॉकलेट दे दी और मैंने तुरंत खा ली, आई हैव एक्टेड ऑन एन अर्ज, बट आई एम लाइक ओके, आई एम गोना कीप इट ऑन माय डेस्क फॉर 4 days and ride the urges out and see how I do. I'm going to become immune to it sitting right there. And when you get that power, it's amazing, so it's temporary. The thought is intrusive, and you can imagine, you can crave, you can imagine how good it will feel when you give in to that urge. But you also know that you're fighting a demon ki nahi yaar, it's coming in the way of my wanting to be a certain way. Can I ride this out? So when you develop that ability and that knowledge that this can be ridden out, that's where you will win. So all of these triggers, environmental, internal, physiological, aap sab samajh ke, and the awareness that what triggers that urge for you. So for instance, if I felt like having a chocolate late night, not late night, but in the night, I'll be like, okay, let me just ride it out, 20 minutes. Let's see if I need it. And I will, obviously, you do mindfulness techniques, you become aware, you don't judge yourself. No, man, I have to have it. If I can't have it, I'll feel so restless. I'm feeling so anxious. I need to eat. I need to do that. Obviously, when you keep giving into those thoughts, the urge to rahegi. So you can ride it out using certain mindfulness skills, using certain techniques where you see it come as a wave, like you're surfing a wave, and you can come out the other way. But you have to commit to it, because ek taraf aapko ek pull aayega, you'll be distracted by that rumbling or that craving, and you're like, I'm fighting this. But when you give in, saying, I need to ride this out, you will be able to do that. And people successfully do that. So
Only problem with that is urges keep coming.
They will keep coming.
And you can't keep doing that meditation all day.
But you know that you have the power in you to tide it out if you want
अगर
to.
तुम्हारे लिए
अगर तुम्हें
ज़रूरी
करना
है,
है,
तो
हाँ,
हाँ.
अगर करना है. So for
yeah, same applies with shopping also.
Correct.
All kinds
Correct.
of things, right?
Yeah.
कुछ खरीदना भी है.
Correct.
Impulsive purchase that you're
Yeah.
about to make.
Yeah.
Ride it out.
Correct. Do I need it? Do I need to have that third roti that I shouldn't be having? Am I hungry? So you're asking yourself, you're tuning into your self-awareness.
See, that's the thing. I think staying calm and mindful
बहुत
is
ज़रूरी है.
everything.
It's
I think
everything.
सब कुछ यही है, नहीं?
बिल्कुल. Pulling yourself back into that mindful space where you're calm and you're just moving moment to moment, dealing with whatever comes by, you will be able to. That's the trick.
Being present
Being
and
present.
doing it.
Yeah.
अगर being present if रह के करोगे ना आप, तो एक में हो जाएगा. 5 नहीं चाहिए आपको, 3
तो
नहीं
फिर
चाहिए.
आप नेक्स्ट टाइम जब वो अर्ज आएगी ना, एंड यू नो यार मैंने इसको परसों टाइड आउट करी है, आई कैन डू दिस, you will again, it becomes habit. Soon enough, sometimes those urges may also go away because you realize the mind is saying यार ये तो respond ही नहीं कर रहा है, ये तो मेरे को दे ही नहीं रहा जो मुझे चाहिए, so why am I even asking for it? So that's what I will always say, you feed your mind, whatever you feed it, it will thrive on it.
Yeah.
So soon enough,
And
you'll
diet.
be like,
Content
yeah.
is diet.
Correct.
Listening
exactly.
to the podcast is a diet.
Correct,
for the
exactly.
mind.
Yeah.
Let's talk about vices. ये जो urge की बात कर रहे हैं हम, ये urge होती है गलत करने की. हम सबको कुछ ना कुछ चाहिए. जैसे कि some people need so to unwind, you feel you either need a physical activity.
Correct.
Or some people come home after a stressful day, you feel like having a drink. May not be problematic, maybe just one drink. All of us are addicted to different things. कुछ ना कुछ गलत करना है हमें अपने साथ. मेरे को ऐसा लगता है.
All
नहीं?
All.
Not everybody.
Okay, so depends on what you call a vice. A vice is morally and socially undesirable. That's what a vice is. Here you're saying coping. Here so you're saying coping चाहे adaptive हो या maladaptive हो, जो भी. चाहे running. Tell me
more about vice then. So
vice is undesirable. Vice is
like examples.
Like excessive drinking. Excessive.
That's
I'm not
coping.
saying. Coping hai. But again, I mean.
Give me an example of a vice that's not coping.
I mean, a vice is that which is harmful, which is really harmful for either you or someone else, mainly you. So it's like gambling. That's a vice. Now, is it a coping? It may not necessarily be coping.
Or it may be.
It may be. वो हमें देखना पड़ेगा. भाई तुम क्यों gamble करते हो? मेरे को पैसा चाहिए. मेरे को quick money चाहिए. मेरे को thrill है कि मेरे को I don't know, I find it exciting. It may not be coping. So vice is something which is really morally, in a way, reprehensible, something which is not desirable. Getting drunk and passing out or causing mayhem or causing accidents. I mean, that would be a vice. So, you know,
Acha.
but
So
हाँ.
otherwise then all pretty much everything else is a coping mechanism. जो हम बोलते हैं सारे कि what's your poison, तो वो क्या है? वो coping mechanism है.
Or something we like.
Like
Of something we enjoy. So, for instance, if you ask me what's my vice, I will say, finishing a tub of ice cream. But that would be maybe once a year.
damn.
I won't do it every day because I know it's not okay to do every day. But I would say once a year to banta hai, Or, so vice could be, or what's your poison? I mean, we usually ask that for alcoholic beverages. But again, a vice is what is not, which is socially and morally
But gives
not
you joy.
okay. But could give us joy.
Tell me one thing. Is there now this is getting a little philosophical. एक आबिदा परवीन की कविता है, गजल है, उसका एक शेर है, पीजा अय्याम की मस्ती को भी हंस के साहिब, दर्द सहने में भी कुदरत ने मजा रखा है. Like कि दर्द सहने में भी एक अपना ही मजा है. So people get addicted to pain as well. They inflict pain on themselves, not physical pain to kill themselves, but do things that hurt.
Yeah.
Like excessive of everything.
Sure.
Excess of everything.
Sure.
So addiction to pain is also a real thing?
Yeah. So that's where, again, I mean, addiction to pain, in the sense, if I look at self-harm, it may not, again, that's a coping mechanism. So, but then that becomes a repetitive pattern. So anything, again, addiction is a repetitive loop that comes by. So, hota hai ki some people thrive on it, that it becomes their identity. Thrive is not the word, but it becomes their identity.
Their identity.
So sometimes it's that victim mode which people go into, mere saath to bura hi hota hai. So if they're addicted to that identity and that emotional pain, then nothing in the world can take them out of it. I don't think it's that easy to tease out also, Vipin, because I've seen people have real pain, in their words, because they are addicted to morphine, for instance. So again, that's an addiction to substance. So whether or not they are actually having pain is such a subjective experience.
So morphine without the need for morphine?
Yeah. Then it's like, because I love it. It just gives me, or tramadol or any other very strong painkillers, people get addicted to those because, so we don't know whether unko asli mein pain hai ki nahi. So that's why I'm saying pain is that way very subjective. Emotional pain is, of course, all of us having that at some level. So I don't know if I digressed, but
डॉक्टर ने मुझे भी बताया था कि ये tramadol and stuff can get, अगर पेन के लिए लोगे तो कभी एडिक्टिव नहीं होंगी, अगर पेन के बिना लोगे तो एडिक्टिव हो जाएंगे.
कहीं नहीं. I've seen people where it starts with pain, and then because let's say there is a comorbid mental health disorder and they want to numb that because that's what helps numb their pain emotionally too.
But don't see, that's where we are, right? In our overseas, there is opioid addiction and various other things, and there are programs for it, and they counsel people for it. कि आपको दिया, these are the dosages you're being given, and this is the way to wean off them. This is the way counseling goes hand in hand. Here we're just prescribed.
Correct.
And
we lose track.
These can be bought over the counter by people.
Yeah.
And it's all up for...
Correct. हमारा वो review, how many people also come back for reviews? Those systems aren't in place.
They are.
हो गया, चला गया. Doctor-patient ratio देख लो.
And do you see the number of people suffering because of that?
Of course.
Is far larger than you're seeing. Than are coming to the hospital.
Are coming because they don't want to lose that addiction. So they will never walk into my door because they'll be like, oh, she's going to make us give up this. तो हम क्यों जाएं? So आएंगे ही नहीं. So that number is huge. So the ones who self-medicate. That's the self-medication hypothesis कि हम ये अपने आप लेंगे, हमारा दर्द चाहे वो emotional है, चाहे physical है, चला जाएगा. So somatic pain disorders is a whole separate discussion we can have. Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to talk about vices in the way that sometimes we will take that on even as a form of rebellion. So like especially in teenagers and young adults कि भाई पेरेंट्स ने मना किया है कि ये सब्सटेंस या ये नहीं लेना है, so let me do this. So it becomes a form of an identity and rebellion for them. So there we may see a little bit more vices inculcation. But I mean, whether or not it's a coping or not, but definitely identity formation में वो फिर एक आदत सी बन जाती है. And then it may take on the fact that, oh, this is serving me this purpose too, or this is helping me be a part of a peer group, or this is helping me cope with exam stress, so why not adopt it more? वहाँ से वो आ जाता है.
ये कोपिंग बड़ी खतरनाक चीज है.
बहुत ज़्यादा. Most, actually 10 out of 10 people I teach coping, and it's amazing how what you were saying very, आपने बस off the cuff ऐसे ही बोला कि हाँ, इस प्रॉब्लम, the self reflection, इसका करना क्या है, इसको छोड़ना है क्या, इसको, people don't even know that form of coping. So I have to actually tell them what coping looks like, what I need you to start using as coping strategies. So even people in their adulthood are learning coping.
Yeah, and there are good ways and bad ways of doing it.
Yep.
There are amazing things. For example, like I am compelled to mention it, Wim Hof method. Have you tried it? It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like I could compare it to the high of a beer, honestly. Like a lovely chilled beer. आपको उतना मजा आएगा करके. वो meditation है. It's breathing only, breath work only. But the way the current that you feel in your body gives you a high.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways to do it. Meditation is one of the ways to do it. To calm yourself, right?
Mindfulness based stress reduction. काफी कुछ है.
Right. और calm yourself कर लिया या फिर numb yourself कर लिया.
हाँ. आसान ये वाला है.
आसान ये वाला है.
हाँ, इसमें मजा भी आता है.
हाँ, मजा भी आता है. और and then this kills you. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Kills you and kills your potential.
Correct.
Like kills you physically. It's harmful. And at the same time, जो बनना था जिंदगी में वो नहीं बनोगे. और इसके साथ you will thrive. If you're practicing self-care, you'll thrive. Which is why I feel mental health discussions are so important now. People think it's about depression and sadness. To me, it's about productivity.
बिल्कुल.
Like आपकी जिंदगी खराब हो रही है. ऐसे नहीं खराब हो रही है कि दुनिया बोलेगी आपको खराब हो रही है. ऐसा नहीं खराब हो रही है कि आप सड़कों पे आ जाओगे. ऐसे नहीं खराब हो रही है कि आप लोगों से बात नहीं कर पाओगे. सब कुछ छोटे छोटे लेवल पे होता जाएगा. और आपकी जिंदगी वो ये होगा कि यहाँ से प्लेन उड़ा था, बैंगलोर जाना था और वो इतना सा टेढ़ा हो गया और वो सीधा पहुंच गया बंगाल की खाड़ी में.
Correct.
It's that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Just one quick question about forgetting quickly. Some people say that. So my friend Milind Soman, I talked to him, like I've been doing LLRs with him for 7 years. Every time we talk about various things, I remind him last time we talked about it. He says, I have a short memory, I keep forgetting things, especially negativity. Anything he prioritizes. I love Milind Soman, Ankita, and Milind's mother, Usha Soman. The sisters, all the Milind sisters, are amazing. These three in particular, Milind's mother, Ankita, and Milind, prioritize their mental health so well.
There you go.
All the time. They are like, and Milind says clearly, चाहे कोई काम हो या I have to take on a project, my only parameter, my biggest filter is दिमाग की, मन की शांति मिलेगी या नहीं मिलेगी.
Exactly.
अगर मन की शांति मिलेगी तो मैं कर लूंगा, नहीं मिलेगा तो फिर पैसा नहीं चाहिए मेरे को. रह जाओ.
Correct. बस
So amazing.
वही आंसर है आपका.
but forgetting quickly about criticism.
Yeah.
Criticism seems to stick. आप मानोगे नहीं, हर चीज में आपकी इतनी तारीफ हुई है. One criticism will come. Like out of the, let's say for example you're doing an Insta live. I haven't done one, but let's say you're doing an Insta live and you have like 50,000 followers. There are people commenting, liking and doing what not. So many people saying lovely things. एक comment आएगी, 3 comment आएंगी उस पूरे में से, और वो 3 आपको रात को सोने नहीं देंगी. This happens with people.
Yeah.
Negative sticks.
Correct. But again, if talking about Milind, Ankita and his mom, these people, like you're saying, they have a very clear vision of how they want to be and what they will let filter into their system. So they will be, generally we will see people like Milind, and I don't know him personally. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll tell you, and maybe, I don't know if you can relate to that. They'll be very confident. They're confident about their abilities. They're very they have a strong sense of self. भाई हमको जो बोले, I know मेरी strengths क्या है, मेरी weaknesses क्या है.
Ankita,
हाँ.
Ankita is a good friend of mine, and
Huh.
Ankita's worked her way up
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah.
Like I've seen her for 7, 8 years, and over the time, she's worked up to precisely this
Exactly.
level.
So you'll notice that they are, very confident. Then they are go-getters. They will look at opportunities. They are only focusing mostly, and I'm not saying everybody is. There's going to be somebody who will be like, 10 on 10, but they're mostly growth-oriented. They're mostly very selective about what they engage with, what situations they engage with. Will this be serving my mental peace or will it take away from it? Is it based on my values or is it not? So इनके mental filters, again, वो जो conscious decision making होती है, do I care about what that one person has written? No, because, why let that bother me? Because so they have that strong sense of filter, setting boundaries. They're very good at boundary setting in that way. So and they're optimistic. They see the glass half full. They look at opportunities. They're good at emotional regulation. मान लो अगर उसको किसी ने, let's say, they may not be bothered by any random XYZ person saying anything to them, but let's say if something happens, कोई बीच में झगड़ा हो गया and दोनों, and let's say, somebody who's close to them says something, they'll probably it may pinch, but they'll self-regulate or they'll talk about it. कि आपने मुझे ऐसा बोला, let's resolve this conflict, let's talk about it. So they're that way very well-rounded personalities. We can all become that.
Yeah.
It's very easy. So like you're saying, for that person who looks at just that one criticism, there seems to be a belief or a trigger within which bothers them. I would love for them to examine that. कि छोड़ यार 50,000 लोगों ने positive भी तो बोला है. Let me not discount that. Let me focus on that. Some people will say so. But if this is coming in the way of my peace of mind, I'm going to drop it.
Yeah,
So they're
for sure.
consciously and at some points very on autopilot navigating those things as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all different ages, and they have a book coming out just now. It's called Keep Moving, and I think
Nice.
that's one common factor between these three. Their love for movement. Milin's mother is 85 and she can do push-ups. And
I've seen her
whatnot.
videos and yeah, amazing.
And I've had the privilege of speaking with her many times, and she's just amazing. She's done Everest Base Camp.
Oh my.
She's done Kilimanjaro, and she says Kilimanjaro is a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Like,
and so now when you're telling me this, when I'm hearing, the other quality which they must be having is emotional resilience. When they have then they've seen setbacks, when they've seen criticism, when they've seen anything which has not served them, they're able to bounce back very quickly. They don't mull with it. They don't stay with it. They don't become depressed and upset. Sounds like if you're saying Milin's mom is like this too, then you will notice that it's something that he may have seen her and learned from as well. So it's a very social learning bit again, but he's seen how it's probably worked. It's a bit of that conditioning. But they're also somebody who's very good who are very resilient. They bounce back from adversity very quickly.
Right.
So whatever that adversity may be.
Yeah. And another thing about them is keeping things very simple, like super simple. Just like movement for them does not, like, they've never, all three of them never have been to the gym.
Oh, wow.
Milind has been a swimmer. He was a swimmer in his early days. Then he became a runner because he enjoys running much more. Ankita had vices and addictions and stuff, and she's worked her way through this to running, fitness, and now yoga coach and mental health. She's a big advocate, and I love the way she speaks about it. She's so much positivity. When I run with her in our LLRs, she does, point out lovely things that I should focus more on and bring about.
So that cognitive reframing, restructuring. She's of course seen a lot of negativity and how one trains themselves to look at things differently and come out stronger. So that's what I said, that resilience quotient, the ability to fight back and lead a good, meaningful life. That's one quality.
Yeah, and Ankita's quit drinking, by the way. Milind does not drink. Ankita used to, and she's like zero now. It's been many years. And food-wise as well, it's all homegrown, local. Everything is lovely. I'm looking forward to that book. I'll buy it. And these guys will be on the podcast soon.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yes.
looking forward to that.
I look forward to that too. From this to another kind of human being. From the Somans to another kind of human being, which is, how does one overcome this constant feeling of not being enough throughout your life. Like honestly, when I watch movies and I see younger people focused on their career and women and like girls impress करना और ये करना वो करना, सारी गेम्स में ना आपको हमेशा जहाँ होना चाहिए आप उससे पीछे पाते हो अपने आप को. Then career, then money, then status, then everything, and then you fucking die. Like,
तो again ये belief आया कहाँ से? So that's again, it's one of the very deep rooted maladaptive beliefs. उसको इतना entrenched होता है ये, so I will always shine the torch on it saying अच्छा ये कहाँ से शुरू हुआ? How far back can you think back and remember where it started from?
as early as I can,
Yeah.
I can start.
So then where did it start from? You know, how did it impact you?
मैं बताता हूँ. मैं बहादुरगढ़ में रहते थे हम लोग. बहादुरगढ़ हरियाणा में आता है. वहां तक पढ़ाई की मैंने. सेकंड क्लास में एडमिशन के लिए मेरे को इधर लेके आया. सामने स्कूल है स्प्रिंग मेडोज पब्लिक स्कूल. वहां पे एडमिशन के लिए प्रिंसिपल के सामने आई एम सिटिंग विद माय फादर एंड प्रिंसिपल ने बोला कि देखो जी हरियाणा से बच्चे आए हैं तो इनका स्टैंडर्ड बड़ा पुअर रहता है पढ़ाई का और इंग्लिश वगैरह बोलना तो होता ही नहीं है इनसे. तो उन्होंने बोला गुड मॉर्निंग बेटा. आई रिमेम्बर दिस मोमेंट आई एम टेलिंग यू, लाइक सेकंड क्लास एडमिशन के लिए. तो आई डिडंट से एनीथिंग. मैं चुपचाप बैठ गया और पापा बैठे हैं साथ में. उन्होंने बोला बेटा गुड मॉर्निंग. टीचर प्रिंसिपल सेड दैट and I still looked niche, I still looked at my father and I didn't. Then she said, say good morning. So I mumbled, like I whispered, good morning. Like, okay. And so she said, see, बहुत ही पूरा स्टैंडर्ड है, हम ले नहीं पाएंगे बच्चे को. तो ऐसे करके यहाँ से हम निकले. घर आके आई रिमेम्बर पापा टेलिंग माई मदर कि ये हुआ स्कूल में. ये बिठाया वहाँ पे, उन्होंने बोला गुड मॉर्निंग, उन्होंने बोला से गुड मॉर्निंग, और उसे कोई जवाब नहीं दिया. मैंने दिया था जवाब, सुना नहीं उन्होंने, दिया था जवाब मैंने. But that's where it started.
Yeah,
and I can tell you my entire schooling was a bit like that.
Yeah. So that's where it starts. So what happens is, because imagine second grade, we don't know what coping is like. We don't know अगर कोई हमें ऐसा बोले तो हमें क्या जवाब देना चाहिए. So we form what we react with are called impulsive coping. We'll cry, we'll withdraw, we'll stay shut, we will not, like you froze. I mean, I don't know whether you froze, but you're like, you know, you just
English में बात कर रही है.
So you may have frozen, your brain would have shut down. So those are impulsive coping. That's the only thing a second grade child will know. So we don't know how to react. We'll minimize our needs. We'll go into a corner. We'll be shy. We'll withdraw. So all of those, which are not, we call functional coping tools, as the opposite. So अगर वहाँ से शुरू हुआ, and I mean, like you were saying, the body stores the trauma. That's how the body stored the belief. So you will only, that gets entrenched. That's like stored in a part of your brain, और वो हमेशा active रहेगी. वो आप अच्छा भी करोगे and the teacher will say, hey Vipin, well done, and you'll be like, she's just saying it like that. I know I'm still not good enough. Or, you know, if I have to do something, I know मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा because I'm not good enough. So where those start from, you need to realize that these are just thought structures. They can change. You can work with them, and that requires a lot of insight building also. Because you're so used to that, growing up with that identity of I'm not good enough. So अगर मैं बोलूँ ना नहीं विपिन यार इसको छोड़ो, you know it's not serving you well, you'll be like कैसे छोड़ूँ, ये तो सदियों से 40 साल हो गए हैं चलता आ रहा है, how do I just let it go? So we create insights, we look at, is this one? Of course, I will always work with workability. Is this working for you? Clearly, you'll say no, because everywhere I'm just one step behind. I know I have the potential, but I'm not exercising it. मुझे लगता है मैं good enough नहीं हूँ.
Like it's to that level that I can't imagine being number one in anything, and I don't want to become number one in anything, even if it's something I'm really good at. I want to become number 2.
Yeah. So then, my question is, do you want to settle for that, or do you feel, because what will happen
I'd
is,
love to be one.
Exactly. Because what you'll end up feeling is stuck. You'll end up feeling held back. You'll end up feeling stagnant. You know, यार मैं चाहता हूँ करना मगर मैं कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ. मेरे से हो नहीं पा रहा है. So it's just that strong mistaken beliefs. I'll call them mistaken, where I'll say that these were beliefs which you formed due to significant life events. For instance, like this, which you carried over, which nobody worked with you, or you never maybe, I don't know whether you got positive strokes or appreciation, like you said, all your schooling was like that. So if I look at it developmentally, यही सिलसिला चलता रहा, तो ये गया ही कहाँ? ये अभी भी है, वो अंदर छोटा सा सेकंड ग्रेड वाला बच्चा अभी भी है कहीं.
In between, I've taken detours and by myself, like carved niches for myself. So, for example, speaking English once I got the admission and stuff like that. Because I think that stayed with me. I worked doubly hard in English, and I was one of the best English speakers in the class. और cricket commentary सुननी चालू की, देखना चालू किया, पढ़ना चालू किया. Then karate, taekwondo में gold medals कुछ निकाले. So those were little things, peripheral things that gave me confidence. And then running. Eventually.
Exactly. But वो जड़ से हटाना जरूरी है by actually saying, यार, this is, I can shine the light on it, I can collect evidence, I can give myself positive strokes, I can celebrate small wins, I am making progress. So अगर मैं number 1 की भी कर रहा हूँ, मगर at least मैं 2 से तो ऊपर जा रहा हूँ, I am celebrating small wins, people are appreciating. So when somebody who's I'm not good enough, they will forget what good things people will say about them. अरे ये तो कुछ नहीं था, you know, this is luck, this is tukka. We won't take credit, like, you know what, somebody says, Vipin, like, I love your podcast, or you're doing so well. हाँ यार, you may minimize it. So, you know, we continue to minimize ourselves. So you can change that. It's just a thought unit. You see how it's perpetuating and affecting your entire life.
Okay.
So if you look at all the others, you know, David Goggins, you know that उनका thought process ही है जो makes them do what they want to do. So that I'm not good enough can be, you can see that, yeah, शुरू वहाँ से हुआ था, मैं अब 40 साल का हो गया हूँ, I'm doing, I want to do so much, I want to do X, Y, Z, can I set my pathways on that, my goals towards that, can I start working on it, leaving that bit behind. A lot of self-compassion is needed because we are also our biggest critics. जो I'm not good enough होते हैं ना, हम अपने आप को ही नीचा करते हैं. So I'll say, would you say that same thing to a friend? Chances are you'll say no, yeah. Then I'm like, why can't you do that to yourself? So you have to be that same compassionate friend who's kinder to yourself, saying, hey, you know what, मेरे में बहुत कुछ है जो मैं कर सकता हूँ. So वो transition आना, वो change in your maladaptive thought belief to an adaptive thought belief is doable, is possible. That's what we guys constantly do. But sometimes we just hold on to it. वो लोगों से छुड़वाना बड़ा चैलेंज होता है. तो मैं कहती हूँ, अच्छा आप आए हो, चलो हम लोग, I tell people, I said, you and I are going to have arguments. We'll challenge each other. I will tell you this is not serving you. But I want you to develop that insight to let this thought go. Or to change and say, I want to be number one. This is what I want to be number one in. Do I have the resources, abilities, skills to be number one? If yes, can I start acting on them? I want us to be growth-oriented and not something which started as a kid and doesn't serve us in the now. So it's a whole process. I know I'm making it sound easy, but it's a whole process in therapy, which is
it's
very insight.
It's work.
It's
so
work.
काम है ये.
काम है.
ऊपर काम करना
तो,
काम है.
हाँ बिल्कुल. एंड जब लोग
ये काम अगर आप कर लेते हो ना, आप साफ हो जाते हो.
आप साफ
you
हो
come
जाते हो.
clean.
Correct. And that's why I tell people when they come for therapy or coaching, saying, listen, you're not going to come to me for 45 minutes or an hour, talk and go. You're going to be doing work. You're going to be reflecting. You're going to be changing. You are going to re-script your narratives. You've got to work with me. So 90% of the work is done outside of therapy. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Then come back. I want you to do that because that's where the permanent shifts will come.
Right.
So, but a lot of people don't give it that due diligence, which is where things fall apart.
Which is where and then we see therapy doesn't really work.
हाँ, हम कहते हैं नहीं यार काम ही नहीं किया, क्योंकि मैं हाँ बात ही करनी है. And I'm like, बात नहीं करनी है, मेरे को काम करना है. So yeah.
No, I mean thoughts, like you said, thoughts, feelings, actions, right?
Yeah,
That's
thoughts, feelings, behaviors, yeah.
Behaviors,
and then that loop, yeah.
That loop, right? So जब behaviors इन्हीं से आने हैं, thoughts, feelings, so how much work are we putting on it? So similarly, I mean, this is an argument given for spirituality as well, and they say चेतना और बिना चेतना के, let's say an alive body and a dead body, what's the difference? उसमें चेतना है, उसमें जिंदगी है, इसमें नहीं है, right? So बड़ी important चीज़ है फिर जिंदगी. तो उसको जिंदगी को समझने में हम कितना वक्त लगा रहे हैं, कितना मैटर करता है वो, राइट?
So okay, I may digress with this.
So ये
but
ऐसे कुछ बोलने से
हाँ,
पहले मैं बोलने वाला था कि may digress.
I may digress because lately when I'm doing a lot of relationship and couples counseling, I keep hearing this that बहुत काम है यार relationships में. I'm like है.
Relationship.
I said relationships में काम है, struggle नहीं होनी चाहिए. And struggle है तो फिर उसको काम करो. So people are they feel like time ही नहीं है, काम का डिमांड है, रिलेशनशिप डिमांडिंग है, बच्चे हैं, केयर गिविंग पेरेंट्स हैं, हम कितना करें? And then you're asking me to work on myself and I'll say, listen, if you can be mindful and learn to cope and learn to be calm and learn to bounce back, you will have 10 times more to give.
Yeah.
You will be 10 times more productive.
फिर बात ये भी है कि काम तो हर चीज में
हाँ,
है
काम
और
तो
उसको
हर चीज
एक्सेप्ट कर लेना
चाहिए बट लोग करते नहीं
कि
है
काम होगा।
क्विक फिक्स वही कहते हैं ना, वो इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन। हम एक सेशन के लिए आए, हमें तो कुछ फर्क ही नहीं लगा। अरे एक सेशन तो इनटेक होता है, उसमें हिस्ट्री होती है। आई एम जस्ट गेटिंग टू नो यू। सो आई विल, लाइक आई सेड, I set people's expectations such, saying, listen, I want to get to know you completely. And then interventions will start.
Yeah.
So please be patient. So there's a whole process to therapy which people don't know about. Not their fault.
Yeah.
But yeah.
हाँ वही बात है, काम करने की जरूरत है। And by the way, when you mentioned when you were talking about self criticism, और फिर हम appreciation की बात करते हैं कि we should appreciate and people appreciate you and we should value that. मतलब बेतुका सा सवाल पूछता हूँ कि because this is a silly way of distorting an argument or discussion, like killing it. कि आप कि एक कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बात कर रहे हो और आप कॉन्टेक्स्ट चेंज करके उसका जवाब पे उसको फिर गलत साबित कर देते हो, which is what I'm going to try to do. So I've been to Vrindavan. I go to Vrindavan very often.
Sure.
There are some amazing saints there. मुझे सारे अभी तो नकली लगते थे, ठीक है, और कि बाबा है, वो फनी वीडियोस आप भी देखते होंगे, है ना, वो सब है, सारे नकली लगते थे। और कहानियां सुनने में आती थी, कुछ संत होते हैं, ऐसे होते हैं, वो इतने साल तपस्या करते हैं, ये करते हैं, वो करते हैं। I recently had a chance to meet one. So we stayed at this resort where, and I'm not going to take her name.
Sure.
I stayed at this resort, and I was told that somebody is here. Her family lives in London, and I mentioned this in the last podcast also, I think. है ना, किया था ना मैंने? So her family stays in London. She's moved here, and she does so Govardhan Parvat है मथुरा में. That Parvat is exactly 20. उसकी परिक्रमा is exactly 21 kilometers.
Yeah, you told me.
It's a half marathon. How can Krishna not be a runner? Like Krishna was definitely a runner then. It's precisely
on a keto diet.
On a keto diet. 21.1 kilometers. Like
right.
I've done it multiple times, measured it, right? So that parikrama, she does 2 parikramas a day.
Oh.
Okay. 2 parikramas a day, every single day, barefoot. So I had a chance to meet her. I caught her briefly when she finished hers and came dopair mein, and she was like dying for some water. I was like, she said, no, I'll talk to you for 5 minutes because I've got just a very small window in which I'll change and whatever, and then I'll head out for my second. And I asked her if she would love to do a podcast, and she said, ego is the only thing I'm trying to kill. And if I do a podcast and people appreciate it, तो मैं उल्टा चलेगी उस प्रोसेस में. I don't want the appreciation. I don't want the liking, because that's, तो ये भक्ति का रास्ता है. यहाँ हम बात कर रहे हैं अप्रिशिएट होने की, क्रिटिसिज्म को खत्म करें. हाँ, हालांकि वो क्रिटिसिज्म को भी खत्म कर रहे हैं, पर अप्रिसिएशन को भी खत्म कर रहे हैं. And you can't have one without the other. Like if you care about the likes, you'll care about the hates as well.
Correct. But yeah, but so again, if you look at the intention, I would be like, I don't think the podcast is so much about appreciation as much as me sharing I'm talking from her behalf, let's say, me sharing my wisdom, and if it helps even one person, I would love for that to happen.
Thank you for giving me that pitch. I'll give it to her.
And that's my belief. So again, I'm very hesitant in doing stuff like this one. Of course, I really appreciate. I love your podcast. Every patient I work with, and I work with a very difficult population at the hospital, which is spinal cord injury. I will say that even if I can make one life a better life, I think my job would be done. Ours is it's not where we get appreciation every day. We don't get, actually. It's, we get criticisms. We have to make space for a lot of angst people may have as well. So it's not. So it's like intention. So मेरे लिए वो नहीं है कि मैं podcast में आके मुझे appreciation मिलेगी मेरे को. I've never reached out to you saying, "Hey, Vipin, how did my episode do?"
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, yeah, if it helped, great. So it's the intention, it's the motive, it's how that's how.
But
I would
if you
look at
don't, if you don't get appreciation every day, let's give it to you. So let me.
I don't
let
need
me.
just
No,
saying
I'm not saying asking for it, but people should know it. Like my wife Pooja was going through severe depression for many years, clinical depression, and you helped her out of it. Not just helped her out of it, she has a beautiful life today.
Yeah. Well, she created it. You helped it. I won't
काम
take
तो
full
मैं
credit,
मानता हूँ, मैं
है ना?
मानता हूँ, मैं
हाँ,
मानता हूँ काम
हाँ,
करना पड़ेगा आपको,
हाँ.
पर मदद जो कर रहा है ना इसमें वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वो मदद नहीं मिलती तो हमारे पास दिशा नहीं थी, उसके पास दिशा नहीं थी, है ना?
She's a sweetheart. I adore her. So yes, thank you.
She loves you too. Yeah.
See, I hope I mean, I guess you can let the guru, the lady, know that maybe she has so much wisdom.
Yeah.
That it would have helped somebody.
Yeah. So what I plan to do is I'll catch her during her parikrama. She said, of
Correct.
course, you can walk with me.
Okay.
So I'll walk with her, talk, and then say this.
Sure.
एक बात और, एक help करो मेरी.
बताओ.
There are some friends, there are some people who are averse to counseling. Counseling is such a new thing. Not everybody knows about it. Not everybody appreciates the value of it. Because they can't imagine कि क्या help करेगा. बात ही तो करनी है, दोस्त से कर लो. है ना? I see some friends. I have a friend who I clearly know needs counseling. He needs counseling on many fronts. One, and I'm not taking name.
Sure.
One, he's been trying to get married for the last 10 years and hasn't found the right partner, but he's been actively seeking. Okay? And he's not feeling very good about that. His mother's just had paralysis. His father's passed. He's living all by himself here. Loves his mother dearly, but mother now lives with elder brother because she's got some issue with her spine. And I told her about the issue that you had also mentioned, that consult a psychologist also.
Correct.
So, but that's all being done in Hyderabad. He lives here alone. He loves to talk, goes in these circles, drinks, and tries to talk to people. Sometimes people understand, but nobody wants to listen to your shit, dude. Like, who cares? And especially if you're crying all the time.
Crying all the time, yeah.
He would benefit immensely by having a counselor.
Sure.
Speak to them,
Sure.
work on yourself. And he believes that he's read books and he's like sorted. भाई फर्क इतना पड़ेगा, आप अंदाजा नहीं लगा सकते. अपनी खामियों को पहचानो, अपनी खासियतों को पहचानो और करो किसी के साथ काम.
Correct.
How do I convince him? Like, it's not my job to convince him, but how can, what thought process can they, what self-inquiry can they do that can lead them to seeking help?
So self-inquiry say, I mean, before that I'll say, Vipin, one of the things people fear the most is feeling vulnerable. And they know, and you know, and of course the stigma. But look at also, अब कम हो रहा है. Look at the stigma associated with counseling and therapy. क्या जरूरत है? It's just a character weakness. Buck up, be a man.
पर मैं बहुत easily सुन रहा हूँ लोगों को बोलते हुए therapy बोल रहे लोग.
Correct. So अब ये है कि, you know, there is that stigma associated with it. Biggest one is the sense of vulnerability that comes. Okay, I don't know this person obviously, but are they somebody who's afraid of showing their weaknesses and vulnerability?
उनकी बात नहीं है. Whoever feels vulnerable covers it up.
And they'll run away, they'll avoid. कि नहीं therapy में क्या करना, वो मेरी मदद कैसे करेंगे?
Why does he drink every day?
Yeah, but that's because he wants to numb the pain. So for him, he's using him or her, I mean, you've said him, he's using maladaptive coping. You know, it's better to numb the pain. Maybe again, I don't know if it's that, I hate using the word, but if it's that victim mode, that identity, that this suffering is what is in my destiny. So, or, you know, where they feel like, isko bas baat hi karna hai. Kai logon ke liye, now it sounds bizarre, but especially for people with anxiety, you take that anxiety away. It's a shield for them. It's a shield saying, यार इसने मेरी anxiety ठीक कर दी तो मैं I will feel so naked. I will feel like I won't have anything to worry about. How is that possible? हमारी identity है ये anxiety, हमारी identity है ये suffering. So उनको छोड़ना ही नहीं है. So अगर वो case है, I hope not, because I feel everybody has a right to live a good, meaningful life. अगर वो है, then of course that will require a bit of a conversation there. But the stigma, the normalizing that it's okay, yaar. I mean, we've all gone and spoken to someone. They are experts. They are people. They're strangers. They will objectively look at you. It's not just about talking. It's about teaching you the tools
It's
or
not
helping.
once,
Yeah.
it's many times that I've tried to
Yeah.
tell him, like 3-4 times.
Yeah.
And also, like, consult your mother with a psychologist.
Hmm.
So, to which he says, नहीं, हमने उनको बोला है कि आप imagine करो कि आप ठीक हो.
हाँ.
अब imagine.
So
How
they
silly
see
does that
it.
sound?
They
Like,
see it as a
is that a substitute for an expert talking to the patient?
Yeah. So they see it as a character weakness, right? कि अगर हम साइकोलॉजिस्ट के पास जाएंगे तो क्या हम पागल हैं? So एक वो भी तो perception है लोगों में कि हम क्यों जाएं? These are just normal day-to-day life stressors that we are dealing with. हम इसके लिए psychologist के लिए क्यों जाएं? So so for them it's a huge battle. They don't normalize it. We don't normalize therapy anymore. It's becoming that I see a lot of people, and I will say, Vipin, that I tell people that this is for your personal development. It's for your growth. I spin a positive to it, that is this working for you? This going to people crying, drinking. एक point के बाद वो दोस्त भी तुमसे मिलना बंद कर देंगे because they're like, कौन इसकी सुनता रहे? Is that working for you? Are you realizing your potential? Are you living a life with purpose? Are you spiritually, socially, mentally, emotionally, physically happy?
Yeah.
So when you make them see that and say, okay, these are things that we can help you with, maybe giving examples, saying, XYZ person went for therapy, it helped, so let me give that a shot. Sometimes I tell people, do you want me to come with you? Are you afraid of what the therapist is going to say? Because I get that a lot. We were so nervous before our first session. We weren't sure what you're going to talk about or how you will be. कहते हैं, we expect this very stern person, who's just sitting with a paper and pen, and you're this person who's just having a very nice conversation with us. Perceptions भी होते हैं कि वो क्या पूछेंगे, क्या मैं raw या vulnerable feel करूँगा, क्या वो मुझे push करेंगे. I don't want to do that. One, it's too much work. So I'll say, you want me to come with you and sit with you for 10 minutes, and then you sit with the therapist and talk? Or एक सेशन के लिए चले जाए यार, देख तो ले क्या है, लेट मी बी ओपन माइंडेड अबाउट इट कि व्हाट इज दिस अबाउट, एंड देन सी फॉर माई सेल्फ. तू रेगुलर सेशंस के लिए मत जा, एक बार चल के देख ले, सी हाउ दैट फील्स. एंड आई हैव हैड पीपल से, आई वाज वेरी हेजिटेंट, बट after talking to you, I feel like, yes, I can talk to you, so we'll resume, we'll continue. That's all it takes. All it takes is
एक और भी होता है जो होता है ना कि so my auntie lives in Haryana. She does not want to get blood test done because पता नहीं क्या निकलेगा.
हाँ.
And it's the same with mental health as well for a lot of people. And somebody, a CEO of a company, is a good friend of mine. I've suggested him counseling. He wanted to come to you, but वो रुके हुए हैं अभी. I'll go at some point. ठीक है? And the reason he gives is कि यार इस time I'm dealing with too much, and I don't know what will come up. कुछ ऐसा खुद के निकल के आएगा उसमें से वो dig in करने से, जिससे और डील करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ. So to him I will say, if that's a fear, and that's a very legit fear, people can't sit with their thoughts and the demons inside. तभी मैं कह रही हूँ ना, सबको बिजी रहना है, डिस्ट्रैक्टेड रहना है. कोई खाली, like I said, I travel by the metro every day. Me and I'm probably one of the very few people who will be sitting not staring at my phone, because I know what the rest of my day is like. So I'm like, calmly बैठते हैं, sit with my thoughts, whatever comes by, deal with it. People struggle with that. So for somebody like him, where he's afraid, yes, things will come up. And they'll come up in due course of time. We can't push it. Whoever works with him needs to work with his space. But even if something comes up, he will be taught emotional regulation skills so that I can deal with this.
Exactly. ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि आपके
भाई आप खोद के छोड़ के अब आप जाओ.
ये 10 बकवास चीजें हैं आपके.
हाँ, बस अब जाओ. हाँ. Actually, they will. I mean, a proper therapist will say, okay, let me first teach you emotional regulation. That if you're feeling like I'm afraid to talk about this because I don't know how my reaction will be, let's teach you those mindfulness, meditations, journaling, self-reflections. The fact that you can effectively control your emotional response and come back to baseline is possible. We do it all the time. I mean, it's not like I don't get frazzled. Of course I do. But then, you kick in an intervention and you come back to baseline if you want to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Tell me, what are some of the signs that you're ignoring your mental health?
बहुत सारे. Emotionally अगर देखें, nowadays I'll talk about, I think one common complaint I get, I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling like I'm just not able to move in my life. I feel like I'm not leading a life that is meaningful. But if you look at emotional expressions, I won't say clinical, but persistent, low mood, sadness, worry. I'm seeing a lot of people with worries, not clinical anxiety, worries, panic attacks, insomnia or oversleeping, poor hygiene, can't get out of bed, get ready, take care of themselves, lack of structure, eating is out the window. So especially if it's emotional eating, stress eating, which then leads to obesity, hypertension, diabetes, lack of exercise, lack of focus, concentration, productivity, time management, memory. I mean, the more anxious and sad we are, the more forgetful, confusion, social withdrawal from people we like interacting with, or isolation from activities that we like. I see a lot of relationships being affected. We are not, like I said, if you are focusing on well-being, you're focusing on being a person who's doing good self-care, you'll be able to give 10x back to the people and your work.
Yeah.
But as long as you're committing to going home and recharging for that half an hour and coming back to work the next day.
Yeah.
So you look at substance abuse, you look at risky behaviors, you look at lack of purpose. We are spiritually unhappy. And by spiritual, I'm not meaning religious, but we feel like life ka purpose hi kya hai? Lack of meaning
What's
hai.
the point in anything?
What's the point? So we're seeing a lot of that. They're frazzled. I mean, the fact that we are seeing, I know COVID is responsible for that, but definitely a lot of stress, a lot of early deaths, cardiac arrest. So we're seeing all that.
The point about COVID, so this body's, the mind's resilience that I was talking about earlier, came in this context only. We've all gone through a big pandemic, and at that time, when the pandemic got over, people were like, "This is going to be the booming 20s."
Sure.
And it's not. You're seeing a rise in depression and everything, because at the time the mind and the body were just focused on surviving.
Yeah.
और वो खत्म हुआ है. Now all these issues are on the rise. They're on the rise. Highest levels.
Highest, we are seeing frazzled people at work, long hours, high expectations, constant connectivity. So the biggest obstacle I get from people is when I say, okay, what do you do for self-care? What do you do to recharge? Time hi nahi hai. And I'll be like, acha. And so, but we know where the time is going. And I know they're constantly connected. The fact that, but if I don't respond to email after work hours, my other colleague does. And that's how the productivity is measured. Like they're constantly connected. I mean, the sleep hygiene is one big issue. And I will always say sleep is the basic unit of both physical and mental health. Without sleep, everything goes for a toss. So the symptoms of ignoring mental health and physical, they're all interrelated.
Yeah.
The brain is the master of everything.
Yeah.
So
Huberman explains in one of his podcasts about sleep. He says, जो अलग stages होती हैं sleep की, उसमें REM sleep के दौरान body is also training itself to कि adrenaline release नहीं हो रहा है उस time पे. तो body action में नहीं है, body is paralyzed, right? So you're seeing a dream, but you're not acting. So you're training your body to not act all the time. So those who have poor sleep and poor REM sleep tend to be like tend to overreact on things. Right? Not जो चीजें जितनी बड़ी हैं उससे ज्यादा बड़ी देखते हैं वो उसको. तो sleep कितने levels पे आपको affect कर रही है?
बहुत ज्यादा. मैं तो सबसे पहले सवाल पूछती हूँ. From the moment of you wake up to the sleep. How's your sleep? Sabse pehla, that's the one. And we all know lack of sleep, how that affects endocrine, how stress affects, sugar, glucose control. So why are we seeing a rise in lifestyle diseases? I keep saying, so when people say, oh, I want to lose weight and focus on diet and exercise, I'm like, I'm going to add 2 more pillars. I'm going to say stress management and I'm going to say sleep. You may try whatever you want to with diet and exercise. If your sleep and your stress isn't managed, you are not going to lose that weight effectively.
Correct.
So that's why I say, so it's like complete interconnectedness. And I
Effectively
wish,
नहीं, I would say
हाँ,
होगा
है
ही नहीं lose.
है exactly.
मतलब लूज होगा ही नहीं, लगा
नहीं
लो
होगा, हाँ,
actually.
correct. तो वही
It
कह
might
रही
be
हूँ,
a small, थोड़ा बहुत कर लोगे,
हाँ,
but जो आपको अगर significant chunk करना है तो
करना
नहीं
है,
होगा
हाँ,
lose.
हाँ.
हाँ.
बट हमें आजकल फोमो भी होता है ना, अरे हमको इंस्टाग्राम पे भी सब देखना है क्या हो रहा है, रात को सब स्क्रॉल कर रहे हैं, and we are kind of, watching reels, and we are just, I mean, there's so much distraction, there's so much wired and being charged up, and how nobody knows how all of that is impacting their brain, but it does. उनको तो लगता है हाँ हम तो ऐसे ही, but it does
एक बार
play a
सोचना
role.
पड़ेगा ना इसके बारे में, because we've not evolved like this.
Yeah.
If I had to see, let's say the mountains, I would need to go to the mountains,
Correct.
travel to the
Correct.
mountains,
Yeah.
or see a scenery or a photo. One moment here you could be in the mountains, another
Correct.
moment you could be inside the sea,
Yeah.
another moment you could be, I don't know, driving a fast car. So it's getting different hits all the time, and getting like whatever you overstimulate,
Yes.
it like goes below the baseline.
Correct.
It leaves your dopamine levels below the baseline, which is where you then struggle to bring it up,
Yeah.
because then you need constant stimulation.
Yeah, absolutely. Bilkul.
in
So
that
we
cycle.
don't realize that, but sometimes again, and these become habits which people find very difficult to let go of.
Yeah.
So till the time it's like if you want to if you want to engage in self-care and you want to be okay and let go of your anxiety and sleep, well, you've got to fix these things. So are you willing to do that? And of course, people do, but I mean, I'm not saying get off everything, but moderation में या अपने time में करो. But why that attachment and that being hooked is where the problem lies.
Right.
So
Precisely.
Yeah.
Dr. Divya, हमें दुनिया से mental health problems हटानी है.
हाँ.
How do we go about it?
कितना अच्छा होगा वो, है ना? How lovely that would be.
Yeah.
I think, Vipin, in today's day and age, it needs to start from the basics. And ये possible है अगर हमें mental health और physical well-being पे भी ध्यान देना है. Introducing that in school curriculums, introducing mental health issues, sensitizing, teaching young kids in school about mindfulness, stress coping, and regular screenings for even nowadays neurodevelopmental disorders are on the rise. कि यार बचपन से ही आप screening और policies में डाल दो कि this is an important part of our well-being. That would be lovely. I mean, it needs to start from skill building, policy building, from our school systems itself. I wish workplaces were more accommodating of mental health. Not everybody is. The focus on high expectations, long hours. मतलब ये लगता है कि हाँ देखो मैंने आज 15 घंटे काम करा. What a lovely thing it is. And I'm thinking to myself, not really. I mean, you've compromised on sleep. Where are you recharging? So where if you're focusing on constant connectivity, constant expectations, the need to perform, the need to drive, I wish our workspaces were more adaptive to things like flexi time, focusing on mental health days, focusing on doing things for their employees.
Mental health seems to be something that can be easily misused by people, which is why corporates probably find it hard to,
But
the bigger reality is that all they care about is profits.
हाँ, तो वही है. But हाँ, अगर वही कह रही हूँ ना, तो उसी की वजह से तो हम आजकल ये stresses देखते हैं. So if you're asking me why are people so in this modern day age, because the demands are so much more on their time. We are that sandwich population, you and me, for instance, who are taking care of kids as well as aging parents. उतना ही time है, 24 घंटे ही है. How do we manage that? But yes, you're right. वो अगर misuse होता है, वो एक problem है. But can we focus on emphasizing how important mental health in that way is?
Yeah, and I think even if it's not an emphasis on mental health or mental health issues, at least like, and this can't be misused, at least the focus should be on the mental well-being activities.
हाँ,
वो तो होना चाहिए.
बिल्कुल कि भाई not everything is भाई अगर हम 2 minute की एक, like I will always say I prefer going for a 5-minute walk in the garden in my hospital rather than sipping a cup of coffee.
Right.
Now that may be seen as, oh, she's whiling away time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that for me is a stress buster. But how are we perceiving people's, like, again, doing mindful short pocket relaxations? Do we teach our employees that? So I'm saying if we teach them mental health skills and coping, they'll actually become more productive. They'll focus more.
Why wouldn't they?
So we are not looking at it from a pathology point of view कि नहीं ये avoid करने के लिए करते हैं. हम कहते हैं नहीं यार, health building के लिए करो, self care के लिए करो. So अगर हम, if we bring that, and honestly, I think I do a lot of empathy trainings, just the culture of compassion, kindness, and empathy. I think we miss that. So even if we endorse that culture, or there's leadership that advocates mental health and gives it priority, from a point of view as I want you to reach your potential, let's tap into that. I'm looking at it from a positive psychology point of view.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot. Otherwise, we'll be very quick to take a day off अगर पीठ में दर्द हो रही है और या कुछ और हो गया, but will we take a day off if I don't feel like I'm feeling burnt out?
Yeah.
Compassion fatigue in my profession is very high. We are constantly caring. Decision burnout. So if I say, you know what, I'm struggling a little to come to work because I'm really exhausted, do you think that will be taken well? They'll be like, come on, yaar, patients kaun dekhega?
Yeah, suck it up.
Suck it up. What is this? But agar, you know what, I just fell and I hurt my back. Oh, okay, rest up. Take care. So our own approaches towards mental health need to change in that way. Especially in this modern age when we are seeing so many people whose work performances are affected, whose personal lives are affected. They don't have time to take care of themselves. Like I said, the most common refrain I'll get is, I don't have time for self-care. I teach them, listen, I'm just asking you for bite-sized times throughout the day to cultivate mindfulness and relaxation. I'm just asking you for 10 minutes of just a simple activity in the evening to just recharge. So my question to everybody is like, on a scale of 0 to 10, how full is your wellness well? If it's anything below 5 for me, I'm saying that's a red alert. You have to do something to bring up, because otherwise you'll deplete and you will lose focus, concentration, energy, प्रोडक्टिविटी, क्रिएटिविटी, सब कुछ चला जाएगा अगर आप मेंटली एग्जॉस्टेड हो. और आजकल सब लोग ये कहते हैं हम थके हुए हैं, हम एग्जॉस्टेड हैं. Why are we seeing a rise in lifestyle diseases? Again, because of the same reason.
Yeah. Beautiful point about the bite-sized time that you require from people. It makes it possible. The concern with that, just thinking from my point of view, the my resistance to that is, let's say, for example, taking stairs. Like here, I don't have a lift, so I take stairs. Wherever there is little effort, for example, if I do 10 squats every 2 hours every day, it's beautiful for my health. Like, it's proven benefits, right?
Correct.
Amazing. But how much does 10 squats take? Nothing. 10 push-ups. So, by the way, Milan's fitness mantra is this one. He's never been to the gym, wakes up in the morning, it does 10 minutes workout, 10 minutes to 15 minutes, that's all.
Exactly.
But when it comes the time to do those 10, you're like,
छोड़ो यार.
Yeah, छोड़ो. Now, why does that happen? So there is resistance because inertia, right? Then the only way I see to overcome that is James Clear's the shift in identity. I am somebody who looks after his health. I am somebody who values this the effect that this little workout is going to give me.
वो क्रक्स है वहाँ. अगर वो आइडेंटिटी फॉर्म हो जाए एंड आप उसमें बिलीव करो एंड यू वर्क टुवर्ड्स इट, it won't feel effortful at all. And you'll have that conviction and the energy and the strength to actually see that.
And when you do that, again, James Clear's style, when you do that, you see it as a casted vote for the kind of person you want to become. So Joe, let's say I'm an athlete who wants to perform very well. I've just done 10 squats and this takes me in that direction. So see, one more evidence that I'm that person. One more evidence that I'm that person. And then that stacks up.
So like I'm saying, for me and my profession, if empathy, compassion, communication, listening.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. But works the opposite way as well. Every time you skip that 10, you're like, one more evidence, see you're not that person. One more evidence, see you're not that person.
But then it's easy to, rather than criticize and feel bad, you're like, okay, abhi nahi hua, koi baat nahi, let's pick it up again. That's where that compassion comes in. Ki theek hai yaar, I messed up. I let go, but can I start again? So that's what I'm saying. If for me, empathy, compassion, active listening, communication, knowledge, if all of those are important and I imbibe them, that's what my behavior will follow. But if I was somebody who was a cranky person who was refusing to listen and who's just sitting with a sullen face, nobody would want to come and talk to me. So it's like, what do you believe in? which will guide you to be that person. And it's easy because it's like your vision. So you have to set those visions for yourself in that way. So whatever you feed grows. Whatever you focus on expands.
Yeah. Somebody said it more eloquently, which was, if you focus on shit grows. If you focus on yourself, you grow.
I was like, what can be more eloquent than whatever you focus on expands? I'm like, what did I miss?
Wonderful. What a pleasure this has been.
Thank you. I loved
Divya,
it.
thank you so much for making time
much.
again.
This was fun.
And let's keep doing this.
Yes, thank you. This was fun for me as well.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.